இது சேம் தான் ஆஃப் ஆயிடுமா? Sorry for being late. Sorry for being late. Vijetha ma'am கூட பேசிட்டு இருந்தேன். It has been long, no? I have spoken to her. Check. கேக்குதா? Main. யாருக்கு எனக்கு தெரியாது? Why there is very few strength? சரி, பழைய ஸ்டூடெண்ட்லாம் எங்க யாரு கை தூக்குங்க. ஓகே ஓகே. என்னாச்சு? You didn't share the screen, no? Did you share the screen, no? Thank you. So very good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Okay. Okay. A very good afternoon. I'm Madhavi. I have given 7 prelims. I've cleared 7 prelims, and then I've given 7 mains, and I've cleared 3 mains. I've given 2 civil services interview and 1 forest service interview. And I've been graduated in IT in SSN College of Engineering, Chennai. I belong to Madurai, which is my native. I'm happily married and have a kid now. Okay. And I'll be giving, I have still 2 more attempts, which I'll be giving sooner. Okay, that's about me. Okay, my optional is currently sociology. Okay. Welcome. Okay, thank you. So regarding ethics, the scope of discussion today, you can all hear me, right? The one backbenchers? Okay, so the scope of discussion today is this. First is, I'll tell you the basic strategy. Again, I'll repeat the basic strategy for ethics. And we will quickly jump into the analysis, or I call it discussion rather than analysis. Then we will then jump into lessons learned and way forward. This is the scope of discussion today. So coming with this basic strategy of ethics, simple, what is the book to read? What is the learning part? How you should practice? And the most important is how you will score. Practicing, reading books, nothing will result unless you translate it into a score. Yes? So what is the book? Simple. The most vibrant and most suggested book is Lexicon. There is another book which is coming into the market is Subbarao, wherein you can read certain things which are not there in Lexicon. So don't buy Subbarao. If you are friends, you have friends who have Subbarao, share it with them. Okay, because you're not reading Subbarao as such. So I will call Lexicon as a book, Subbarao as just a reference. Okay, then there is something else that you can watch, YouTube. Simply what you will watch in YouTube is this. There is Stanford University lectures on ethics, or any foreign university lecture on ethics you can watch in YouTube. Okay, and then previous year question paper analysis by any institutes. Okay, so this time we have done 2022 because we have not done the previous years. You can watch YouTube for any institutes this analysis discussion. Okay, that is must. And previous year question paper practice is must. But what I will suggest is, before watching these previous year question analysis video, I would first request you to read the question paper first, brainstorm your own answers, then watch the video so that you will always self-evaluate yourself. Okay, so English puriyudha ellarkum? Should I speak in bilingual? No, I want no அப்படின்ற வார்த்தை மட்டும் தான் வேணும். எஸ்ன்ற வார்த்தை எனக்கு தேவையில்லை. நோன்னு யாராச்சும் இருந்தீங்கன்னா மட்டும் சொல்லுங்க. தமிழ்ல பேசணும் மேம், கொஞ்சமாச்சும் தமிழ்ல பேசுங்க அப்படின்னு. ஓகே, ஃபைன். So previous year question paper பாக்குறதுக்கு முன்னாடி you should read the question paper first, have your own answers, and then see those videos so that you self evaluate. Okay, so self evaluation is very important. அதனால தான் இன்னைக்கு கூட I told you to read the question paper and come. Okay, so that you will have the right path to go. இந்த பாத்துல இருந்தீங்கன்னு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். ஏன்னா அந்த பாத்து இல்ல தெரியல அப்படின்னா நீங்க அப்படி இந்த கடிவாளம் கட்டின குதிரை மாதிரி போயிட்டே இருப்பீங்க. Okay, that is not the right thing. Okay, because most of the people fail a number of times and they know what not to do. So அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு காஸ்ட்லி மிஸ்டேக் நீங்க பண்ணவே கூடாது. Okay, not to do அப்படின்றத வந்து மறந்துடுங்க. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அட்டெம்ப்டோ செகண்ட் அட்டெம்ப்டோ இப்ப என்ன அட்டெம்ப்ட் கொடுக்க போறீங்களோ அதுல பின் ஆயிடும் நினைச்சுக்கோங்க. சரியா? வாட் எவர் இட் இஸ். ஓகே, so then that is the way. And how you will learn? Simple, take a note after reading the book as a whole or going by the syllabus. Syllabus படி போங்க. You should see that what is the first word in the syllabus, what are the content I have, will I make a note out of it. So note வந்து முக்கியமான விஷயம். Okay, so noteனா பெரிய ஒரு விஷயம் இல்ல. What is the definition? Okay, what is the impact of it? Okay, that is, இப்ப say for example humility இல்ல modesty அப்படின்னா என்ன தமிழ்ல என்ன? Humility இல்ல modesty-னா என்ன? தன்மைன்னு சொல்லலாமா? தன்னடக்கம்னு சொல்லலாமா? So அந்த தன்னடக்கத்துக்கு definition என்ன? அதோட இருந்தா என்ன இம்பாக்ட், இல்லைன்னா என்ன இம்பாக்ட், அதுக்கு ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள், அதுக்கு ஒரு பெஸ்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஏதாச்சும். மாடஸ்டிக்கு யூ கேன் சே அப்துல் கலாம் ஆர் whomever it can be. Even you can வாரன் பஃபட்டோ இல்ல பில் கேட்ஸோ எதுனாலும் நீங்க வந்து கோட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். And you have to have at least 2 or 3 examples in different field for each word that you study in the syllabus. Okay, so that is the way you will learn. What about the practice? நோட்ஸே உங்களுக்கு பெரிய பிராக்டிஸ் தான், because you are gathering lots of examples. Okay, it will be easier for you to translate it to answers. So அதனால நோட்ஸே நீங்க பிராக்டிஸ் பண்ணும்போதே நீங்க வந்து ஆன்சர் ரைட்டிங் இன்டர்ன் பிராக்டிஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்கன்னு அர்த்தம். தென் question yourself, இந்த மாதிரி கேள்வி கேட்டா என்ன மாதிரி எழுதலாம் அப்படின்றது. Then go by the previous year question. Okay. Okay. So this is the way. Now it's okay. Okay. இவ்ளோ சவுண்டா ரொம்ப நாள் ஆச்சு பேசி. Okay. Where I was? Okay. Now coming to the analysis. See, நான் ஏன் அனாலிசிஸ்னு நான் சொல்லலைன்னா, see, in many institutes video you see, some are saying it is difficult, some are saying it's easy. So it's a multiple or multiplicity of views that the peoples are posing. Okay. I think I'll talk to you. Okay. Check. Serious. இல்ல ஆன்ல தான் இருந்தது, நான் ஆஃப் பண்ணேன், இப்போ ஆன் ஆக மாட்டேங்குது. So I request the people to come before எனக்காக. ஓகே, கேக்குதா? நான் டச்சே பண்ணக்கூடாதுன்னு நினைக்கிறாங்க. Okay, so in the analysis, you can hear me? So in the analysis, it is seen that okay. Okay, I'll go to the slides. Okay, coming to the analysis. So I'll make it as a discussion rather than analysis because everybody has a different point of view. And in the level of your preparation, you analyze it as a difficult or something. Okay, எவ்வளவு நீங்க ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணிருக்கீங்களோ அது டிஃபிகல்ட்டா இல்லையான்னு உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், அவ்வளவுதானே? So I have given my own answers here. It's not a key, it's not a model answer, it's just the way I have presented the answers. Okay. So I leave it to you for peer evaluation. Okay. So please read the first, anybody can read. Okay. Wisdom lies in knowing what to reckon with and what to overlook. What is this reckon? Mic on ஆக மாட்டேங்குது. இல்ல இவ்வளவு நேரம் ஆன் ஆயிடுச்சு இல்ல. நான் போய் கேட்டேன் பேட்டரி இருக்குன்னு தான் சொன்னாங்க. Whom should I call? Oh. I don't know. Wait. Sir, and the mic work ஆகுது. Okay. What is reckon here? Believing in or focusing on. Okay. So the wisdom lies in what to believe or what to focus and what to overlook. What should I say? Oh. Is it okay? Okay. So wisdom lies in knowing what to reckon with and what to overlook. An officer being engrossed with periphery, ignoring the core issues before him, is no rare in bureaucracy. So do you agree that such preoccupation leads to travesty of justice to the cost of effective service delivery and good governance? Critically evaluate. So the question here is, do you agree? And critically evaluate. The content has to be, what is that? What is wisdom? And the conflict between the core and periphery. With respect to whom? யார் இங்க கேட்டிருக்காங்க? With respect to the administrator. So question என்ன கேட்டிருக்காங்க? Wisdom வந்து என்ன சொல்லணும்? எதை ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணணும், எதை ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும். அது வந்து இப்போ வந்து administrator or concentrating only on the periphery issue because that is very easy to resolve. Yes, and they're not focusing on the core issues, but the wisdom should tell them that they have to focus on core rather than the periphery. So this is the question. What will be your introduction? Introduction has to be, so I'll just go to the whiteboard saying you should have the introduction. What should be your introduction? It can be the definition of wisdom. Okay. Or you can say what is core and periphery in a administration. See, there are two ways of introducing. One, you should say, இதுதான் wisdom. So இந்த wisdத்தை வச்சு நான் core periphery issue வந்து differentiate பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். இல்ல இதுதான் core periphery issue administrationல, அதுக்கு இதை differentiate பண்றதுக்கு எனக்கு wisdom வேணும் அப்படின்னு ரெண்டு விதமா நீங்க அழகா introduce பண்ணலாம். That has to be the introduction. Yes. And then in the body of the thing, you should say how the people or the administrators are concentrating on the periphery and why they should be concentrating on the core to provide public welfare, to provide social justice, for effective service delivery, for good governance. இது questionல இருக்கு, இது நீங்களா ஆட் பண்றீங்க. Simple as that. Okay. Then you will give 2 or 3 examples for each See, ஒவ்வொன்றுக்கும் உங்களுக்கு எக்ஸாம்பிள் தெரிஞ்சுன்னா பாடியிலேயே நீங்க இங்க எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுத்துடலாம். If you are not knowing examples for each of it, கடைசியா case study அப்படின்னு ஒரு சப்ஹெட்டிங் கொடுத்து 2 எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுத்து முடிச்சிடலாம். The question here is always, if you see the question here, see, there is no examples asked for. Okay, but still you have to give examples. In certain questions, they're asking illustrations, which means you have to give examples. Yes, wherein you should be giving examples in those cases. Fine. So those are the important things that you have to focus on. So let's read the answers here. Here, see, though I told this is my answer writing, I cannot give my own way of definitions here. Okay, so I wanted to put definition here, but I can't write it in my own words because I'll be giving it to you. So I searched Google. So our disclaimer is Google. So courtesy is Google. Yeah, courtesy is Google for the definitions alone. Okay, so William James have given art of being wise is knowing and what to overlook. Okay, so this is the definition. You can give any number of definition from Google. Okay, so like this, so every word, every ethical word, you should know the meaning and the definition of it. So inga wisdom na enna therinjirukano illa, at least Socrates wisdom na idha da sonnaru, William James ipdi da sonnaru na, at least andha madri quotes achu therinjirukrom. Either you should know the definition or you should give the quote as a definition. So this is the way you will write. Then you will be. So for a civil servant who has to work with lots of information, see, here you should tell them that why wisdom is important. Because there are lots of information. Say for example, a police or inga vandu or word use pannalam. Okay. இங்க வந்து இந்த இடத்துல work culture. This word you can use. I have not used here. Just write it down. Work culture. This work culture is a word mentioned in the syllabus itself. Always try to use the words which are used in the syllabus. So public work culture involves lot of information. Okay, so there's lots of information that you have with you and lots of issues because we are a democratic and diverse country. Okay, so we have lots of issues to handle. So there needs to be a prioritization that this is core and this is periphery. Okay, fine. So that is the way you will start your introduction, and that how you will be differentiating this core and periphery. In the mic. On the mic. On பண்றீங்களா? எங்க பிளேஸ் பண்ண? இங்க. இப்படியா? ஓ. காதுலயா? இப்படியா? So, okay. So, what I was, okay. See, இங்க வந்து இன்னொரு விஷயமும் இருக்கு. What you have to concentrate is core and I was thinking something I got. Okay, so core and periphery is there. You have to say what criteria will differentiate between the core and periphery. Okay, and by differentiating it, what is the impact? What is the criteria you should differentiate the core and periphery? I told you, social justice, public welfare, public interest, something, inclusive governance. These are the words that you will learn already. What is the impact with the limited resources, with limited time? Okay, for the long-term impact. Only if you differentiate between this core and periphery, you will be able to effectively provide the service delivery. So this is the content that you have to have in your answers. Simple. அப்பா அந்த கோர் பெரிஃபரியில இவ்வளவு இருக்கா அப்படின்னா அவ்வளவுதான். This is the simple thing that you see. I was thinking about this answer for a long time. I was digesting this question, but in the exam hall, for the aspirants like me, I will pity them because they will not have that time to think about all these things. Okay, they would have written something. I hope they will succeed with that. Okay, but just think about it, and this is the content that you have to give in your answers. Okay, and what would be your conclusion? Examples. Let's talk about examples as well. Again, I'm telling you, this is my way of answering. You have your own examples to give. In times of COVID, health was the core issue rather than any other developmental issues. Like employment, we locked down because we thought that health is very important than the employment, anything else. And in promoting girls' education, this is the one important example that I always cherish. Girls' education. Girls' education promote பண்றதுக்கு என்னென்ன மெஷர்ஸ்லாம் நீங்க சொல்லலாம்? எத்தனையோ மெஷர்ஸ் இருக்கு. Having functional toilets, having secured transport. Okay, fine. It is very important. அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் peripheral issues like gender justice இதெல்லாம். Girls' education பேசிக்கா வந்து functional toilets இருக்கணும். They should have a hygienic toilets. So அந்த மாதிரி core issue concentrate பண்ணிட்டு peripheral issues விட்டுறலாம் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி சொல்லலாம். Okay, இல்லைனா you can talk about police taking petty crimes and they are ignoring the largest issues like rape issues. Okay, so like this, or IRS officers going for a ride to rich houses rather than people who are poor. So that is not right way, but okay, we can quote that as an example. Because only people who are rich, we are a socialist country. We are always actually like a Robin Hood. We always take money from the rich and give it to the poor. So the IRS officer are meant like to be. That is a right way, but they have to always also look for the people who are middle class, who are not paying the income tax properly. Okay. And the இந்த படம் ஞாபகம் 5 பைசா onion. Yes, okay, fine. So coming to the second question, apart from intellectual competency, please see, listen to my answer, listen to my class, don't read the answers. I'll give you, I'll share it with you. Don't read the answers, I'll share it with you. Okay. Apart from intellectual competency and moral qualities, empathy and compassion are some of the other vital attributes that facilitate the civil servants to be more competent in tackling the crucial issues or taking critical decisions. Explain with suitable illustration. This is the most easiest question, but you will not have anything to write because question la ellathai sollitaanga. Idu illappa idha irukku appdi solittu they have given everything in the question, but what to write? That is the challenge. Even in the governance question, no, they will have everything in the answer question itself. You will not know what to answer except for quoting some cases. அது மட்டும் தான் எழுத முடியும். மிச்சதெல்லாம் அவங்களே questionலே சொல்லிருப்பாங்க. So this is the challenge that you will have. And here's the suitable illustration. Illustration means examples. If it is just illustration, one example is fine. If it is illustrations, you have to give more than 2 examples. Or 2 is fine. More than 1 is plural. Okay. சின்ன வயசுல படிச்சிட்டோம். So apart from intellectual competency and moral qualities, empathy and compassion. So syllabusல 2 வார்த்தை இருக்கு. ஒன்னு என்னன்னா aptitude. இன்னொன்னு ethics. There is another word which can be included as attitude. Attitude towards elders, attitude towards migrants, attitude towards disabled or differently abled. Those are the words that you will use. Again, I'm just using the words which are there in syllabus. Now on the Subara book or lexicon book syllabus. So you should be importing these words in the answers. Okay, that is how you work smart. Okay, so some of the other vital attributes, okay, to be more competent in taking critical issues. So intellectual competency, moral qualities mattum pathadu, empathy or compassion irundha da nee competent ah irukka mudiyum vandiruchu. Moda IQ irundha podunnaanga, ipo EQ irundha podundraanga, appo nee empathy or compassion irundha mattum da jeika mudiyumdraanga. Okay, fine. The world needs it because people who are intellectual are doing cyber crimes. Okay, people who are intellectual and having moral quality are indifferent to the distress caused by the people. See, இப்போ நானே இருக்கேன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, எனக்கு okay, I have a moral quality, I'm honest, but உங்களோட பெயின் வந்து எனக்கு புரியாது. ஓகே, ஒரு இப்போ நான் வந்து ஒரு 30 ஆயிட்டேன், நீங்க வந்து ஒரு 25ல இருப்பீங்க. உங்க 25 மைண்ட்ல என்ன ஓடுன்றது எனக்கு தெரியாது. ஓகே, I should be empathetic to think what you will think. ஓகே, 90s kids அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்கல்ல, சோ அந்த ரேஞ்சில தான் நான் இருக்கேன். பட் அந்த 90s கிட்ஸுக்கு நீங்க என்ன யோசிக்கிறீங்கன்னு தெரியாது. I already told you one example. ஜல்லிக்கட்டு வேணா அப்படின்னு சொல்றது யாரா இருக்கும்? 40+ல. ஏன்னா அந்த 40+ல இருக்கவங்க தான், அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு குழந்தை இருக்கும், அந்த குழந்தை வந்து தேவையில்லாம அவன் உயிரை வந்து ஜல்லிக்கட்டுல விட்டுட்டானா they will want no to jallikattu, they will say no to jallikattu. Okay, but people like you will want jallikattu சொல்லிட்டே இருப்பீங்க. ஓகே, நீ போனா அழுகிறது நாங்க தான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அந்த 40+ ages will tell. Okay, so everybody, it's a democratic country, everybody has their own interest. Okay, I'm just saying this. Okay, so empathy and compassion is very, very important. இன்னொரு விஷயம் இருக்கு, இப்போ ஒரு சிவில் சர்வெண்டா இருப்பாங்க, சிவில் சர்வெண்ட் வந்து டிஃப்ரெண்ட் கேடர்ல தான் இருப்பாங்க. The people who are from North India will be posted in Tamil Nadu, or Tamil Nadu people will be posted in North Indian, wherein they will not understand their culture. Okay, திடீர்னு ஒரு ஜல்லிக்கட்டுக்கு யார் வந்து சூப்பர்வைஸ் பண்ணுவா? ஜல்லிக்கட்டு போடியம் வந்து யார் சூப்பர்வைஸ் பண்ணுவா? இட்ஸ் கலெக்டர். He has to understand the culture of it. Say for example, நான் அந்த சைடு போயிட்டு இருந்தேன். If I am an atheist, consider I am an atheist. I'm going to that அங்க ஒரு பெரிய traffic jam because ஒரு கோயில்ல கூழ் ஊத்துறாங்க. If I'm an atheist, I'm a collector also. What I will say, இதெல்லாம் ரிமூவ் பண்ணுங்க, இதெல்லாம் சும்மா கிடக்குது, இதெல்லாம் இந்த சாமி படத்தெல்லாம் ரிமூவ் பண்ணுங்கன்னு இதே சொல்லிட்டு போயிடுவேன். Okay, you should be having a empathy and compassion and understand their culture and understand their belief. Okay, so that is the very important, that you should be tolerant and inclusive, and these words you will be using. Okay, so the content will say where and all you should have empathy and compassion. Simple. Yarala vulnerable population, can you tell me? Differently abled, women, children, drug abused, pardon? Trafficked. Okay, trafficked victims. Then old age people or senior citizens. Then transgender, LGBTQIQ+. Okay, tribal people. Okay, or we can call it ethnic minorities and religious minorities and linguistic minorities. So, and also you can also tell now the most vulnerable people, migrants. Migrants in a வார்த்தை இப்ப மறக்கவே மறக்காதீங்க. Most vulnerable now is migrants. Okay, so you should be telling here about some of the examples. Differently abled இப்படி இருப்பாங்க, இல்ல மைக்ரன்ஸ்க்கு இந்த மாதிரி இஷ்யூ இருக்கு, அந்த நேரத்துல சிவில் சர்வன்ட் have to be empathy and compassionate அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நீங்க சொல்லும் போதுதான் then the answer is complete. Okay, and here the question again have told you tackling the crucial issues or tackling critical decisions. அதென்ன critical decision, crucial issues என்னவா இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்க? One, empathy and compassion வரும்போது I told you these are the vulnerable people. But here they are talking about the crucial issues of taking critical decisions. What are the people, what are the situations which is critical? Disasters. Then, pardon? Communal violence, very good. Then, mob lynching, communal violence. Then any social, anti-social terrorism. அங்க கம்யூனல் வைரஸ் சொன்னா டெரரிசம் வந்திருக்கணும். எத்தனையோ இருக்கு. டிசாஸ்டர், டெரரிசம், ஆக்சிடென்ட்ஸ். Okay, those are the crucial issues of taking critical decisions. So those are the examples that you will quote. Okay, fine. Here I have quoted certain examples. See this. Armstrong Palme, இது வந்து உங்களுக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். This Armstrong Palme is a civil servant who is posted in Manipur and he have created a people's road. Okay, constructed a people's road without government money. Okay, who are the new aspirants? இப்போதான் நான் ethics படிச்சது இல்ல. Okay, புரியுதா உங்களுக்கு? புரியுதா? புரியுது, ஓரளவுக்கு புரிஞ்சுக்க ட்ரை பண்றீங்க. Okay, that's the good spirit. Okay, so this Armstrong Palme, he is a civil servant. He has constructed people's road for 100 kilometers in a tribal area where there was no connectivity at all. Okay, without government money. So that shows the empathy and compassion of Palme. And then Suresh, Suresh, IPS officer, who created community policing system in Bhiwandi, which helped in tackling communal violence in 1990s. There are n number of examples that you can say who have shown empathy and compassion. Okay, even you can tell about many civil servants during the Chennai floods or in Kerala floods. Okay, who have done a tremendous services. If you have any names, you can quote it here. Who have intellectual competency, who have moral qualities, who have shown empathy and compassion. Those civil servants you can very well quote. Okay, if you want to say Kiran Bedi or anybody else that you know, please quote it. Okay, even Prashant Nair, who is an IAS officer in Kerala, has started this Operation Sulaimani, which I have quoted already. Okay, food for the poor. Poorக்கு சாப்பாடு கொடுக்கிறதுக்காக ஒரு அழகான ஒரு சிஸ்டம் கிரியேட் பண்ணாரு. இல்லனா you can quote example like Nali Kali system. Nali Kali system is a education system for the poor people. I forgot the name of the IAS officer. Okay, so அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் அந்த RTE வந்தது. இந்த Nali Kali systemல இருந்து தான் RTE வந்தது. Okay, so these are the examples that you can quote for education. Many people have done exemplary work. Okay, so then the rules and second A, the rules and regulation provided to all the civil servants are same. Rules and regulations are same, yet there is difference in the performance. Positive-minded officers interpret the rules in favor and achieve success, whereas negative-minded unable to achieve goal by interpreting the same rules against the case. Discuss with illustrations. Again, illustrations. It's an examples. You should be quoting examples. Yeah, sure. Okay, if you see, again, I will ask you to restrict to 150 words. If you don't have content for 150 words, you can dump with examples. Because again, discuss with illustrations and கேட்டிருக்காங்க. Okay, இந்த சைடு இருந்தாலும் impact எப்படி இருந்திருக்கும், இல்லைன்னா எப்படி இருந்திருக்கும். Okay, I already told you in the discussion. Impact இருந்தா எப்படி இருந்திருக்கும், இல்லைன்னா எப்படி இருந்திருக்கும். Okay, fine. Then, where else? Okay, so rules and regulations provided to all the civil servants are same. So here again, they are talking about the attitude. Okay, attitude of the officer. Like our glass level, half empty, half full attitude now. Okay, so again, what you will talk about here, what is the introduction that you will give here? What is the purpose of the rules and regulations? Okay, you can quote that as an example. Okay, or what is attitude itself means, like a definition of attitude. Okay, அந்த attitude எப்படி இருக்கணும் அப்படின்றத நீங்க வந்து இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷனா கொடுக்கலாம், இல்லைன்னா ரூல்ஸ் அண்ட் ரெகுலேஷனோட பர்பஸ் வந்து இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷனா கொடுக்கலாம். உங்களே தான் ஸ்மைல், புரியலன்னா கேளுங்க. ஓகே, ஃபைன். So introduction கொடுக்கலாம். So like this, you have to start your introduction. Here guys, you have to give an impressive introduction for appeasing the examiner that you know everything. Okay. And you should give an impressive conclusion to fetch more marks. Okay, because they will mark your answers after reading the conclusion. Introduction கொடுத்திருக்கலாம், but conclusion முடிக்கும் போது அவங்க marks கொடுப்பாங்க. அப்ப கன்க்ளூஷனுமே ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கணும். இல்லைன்னா நீங்க இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன் எவ்வளவு கொடுத்திருந்தாலும் they will forget it. புரியுதா? So கன்க்ளூஷனுமே நல்லா தான் இருக்கணும். ஓகே ஃபைன். ஸோ அதனாலதான் வே ஃபார்வர்ட் சொல்லுங்கன்னு எல்லாத்தையும் ஆரம்பிச்சுட்டு வே ஃபார்வர்ட் சொல்றேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு எல்லாத்தையும் அங்கேயும் டம்ப் பண்ணிட்டு பாடியில ஒண்ணுமே இல்லாம ஆன்சர் எழுதுறாங்க நிறைய பேர். You should make a right balance. Okay, fine. So I have here told what is an attitude, which refers to a psychological response to a particular situation. And I have told how the positive attitude will help and how the negative attitude will not help. Okay, fine. And then you will be telling how the rules and regulations are there, how the people with positive mind interprets it and people with negative mind interprets it. Okay, here I have said positive mind பத்தி நம்ம அப்புறம் பேசலாம். நெகட்டிவ் மைண்ட் எப்படி எல்லாம் ஒர்க் ஆகும்? ரூல்ஸ் அண்ட் ரெகுலேஷன்ல இவ்வளவு டிஸ்கிரிஷன் இருந்ததுன்னா டிஸ்கிரிஷன் என்ன? வாட் இஸ் த டிஸ்கிரிஷன்? he with his own authority. டிஸ்கிரிஷன் என்ன? with his own authority. see ரூல்ஸ் அண்ட் ரெகுலேஷன்ல எல்லாமே சொல்லிருக்க மாட்டாங்க, சிலது வந்து உங்க டிஸ்கிரிஷன்ல விட்டுருவாங்க. okay, so with your own authority, if there is less of rules, more of discretion, positive minded people will use it for success. Negative minded people will use it for their own favor. Okay, and if there is some loopholes, the negative positive mind officers will use it to, or they will want it to be reformed, whereas negative minded officers will use it for their own favor. So like this, rules and regulation வச்சு இந்த மாதிரி இருந்தா அந்த மாதிரி இருந்தா பாசிட்டிவ் மைண்டட் ஆபீசர்ஸ் எப்படி இருப்பாங்க, நெகட்டிவ் மைண்டட் ஆபீசர்ஸ் எப்படி யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும். திடீர்னு இப்போ MGNREGA ரூல்ஸ்ல இருக்கு. MGNREGA இட்ஸ் an act, you know, right? It's not just a scheme, it's an act also. So MGNREGA ஸ்கீம்ல இத்தனை நாள் தான் wages, say for example 15 daysக்குள்ள wages கொடுக்கணும் அப்படின்னு இருக்கு. நீங்க 15th டேல போய் கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா அது பாசிட்டிவ் மைண்டட் ஆபீசரா நெகட்டிவ் மைண்டட் ஆபீசரா? புரியுதா? This is how you can quote an example. Or you can say for example this Swachh Bharat mission. Okay, people have to construct toilets. The money has to be used for constructing toilets. That's all. The positive minded officer will supervise it and ensure that the girls are using it. The negative minded officers will not care. Na kaasu kodutanga construct pannitachu, my job is over. Okay, so that is how you will give certain, take any missions or any act or any rules and regulation that you know, whether it is a traffic rule, whatever it is. Okay, திடீர்னு உனக்கு காசு வேணும்ன்றதுனாலதான் ஹெல்மெட் போட்டியான்னு கேட்பாங்க. அதுவரை ஹெல்மெட் போட்டிருக்கோன்னு யாரையுமே தொட மாட்டாங்க. So like this you can quote any number of examples for rules and regulations. Okay, it is second B. It is believed that adherence to ethics in human actions would ensure in smooth functioning of an organization or system. Adherence to ethics in human actions would ensure smooth functioning of an organization or system. So, in the organization system na enna solranga? It can be a corporate office, it can be a public office. Okay, it can be an NGO, anything else, anything. So, question இப்படிதான் நீங்க டைமென்ஷன்ஸ் கொண்டு வரணும். see questionல 150 wordsக்கு நீங்க எழுதணும்னா ethicsல dimensions எவ்வளவு dimensions நீங்க கொண்டு வரீங்களோ that will determine your marks. okay, 200 words 250 wordsல dimension கொண்டு வரதும் 150 wordsல நீங்க dimensions கொண்டு வரது இப்படிதான் நீங்க பண்ணணும். questionோட keywordல என்ன dimensions கொண்டு வரலாம்? organization, it can be corporate office, it can be a public office, Then it can be a NGO or any non-state or non-state actors or organization. Okay, so this is how you will make dimensions out of it. Okay. So adherence to ethics ensures smooth functioning of an organization. If so, what does ethics seek to promote in human life? How do ethical values assist in resolution of conflicts? Conflicts in day-to-day life. Again, I will, in the answer, ரொம்ப easy. This is again, I will go with the dimension. என்னென்ன கான்ஃபிளிக்ட் இருக்கும் டே டு டே லைஃப்ல? ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்டா நினைக்கலாம். ஓகே ஃபைன். கான்ஃபிளிக்ட் அட் பர்சனல் ஸ்பேஸ், கான்ஃபிளிக்ட் அட் ஒர்க் ஸ்பேஸ், கான்ஃபிளிக்ட் வித் இன் சொசைட்டி, கான்ஃபிளிக்ட் இன் நீங்க என்ன சொன்னீங்க? இன் சொசைட்டி. So these are the three dimensions that you can give. You can give n number of examples. Personal workspace நீங்க வந்து personal space நீங்க divide பண்ணலாம். Conflict with parents or conflict with relations எப்படினாலும் பண்ணலாம். Just 3 dimensions here, 3 dimensions here, and answer for this with again 3 points, 3 points. Fine. Answer is over. Okay. So it is believed that adherence to ethics of human action would ensure smooth functioning of an organization or system. So what is required for a smooth functioning of an organization? Adula ethics eppadi help pannum? It will create a trust. Yes, accountability, trust, transparency. Transparency la ipadikku nama use panna vena. Idella nama next set of governance questions irukum. Adukku nama transparency la use panna. Inga ethics kekkiradunala accountability is fine word, not transparency. Accountability we can use. Then trust, social security, okay. Then, okay, fine. Then coming to this, if so, what does ethics seeks to promote in human life? முன்னாடி questionலயே சொல்லிட்டாங்க. Ethics என்ன promote பண்ணுது? Empathy, compassion, responsibility. How do ethical values assist in the resolution of conflicts? Say, for example, conflict in a personal work, a personal space. You need ethics like being honest to your wife or husband. Okay. Then anger management. Yes, that is very important. You should have proper work-life balance. What about conflict in workspace? Respecting the subordinates. Obeying the seniors, okay, serving the customers or understanding the customers. Simple in the mood vaarthaiyila mudichilama. Adutha conflict in the society. I told you word something before. Communal violence ku enna venum mukkiyama? Tolerance venum. Tolerance venum, empathy, compassion inge use pannalam. Or you can say kindness. Any words you can use. Okay, that's all. Answer over. இதுக்கு எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுக்கணுமா ஒவ்வொரு வேர்டுக்கும்? இல்ல கடைசியா ஒரு 2 எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுத்துட்டு முடிச்சாலும் fine. Okay. I'm sorry, 1 minute. See, those who are very new to the subject, they might not understand certain examples that I've quoted because it's very old examples. Okay, but it's relevant even now. Okay, you may not understand those examples. Leave it. If you have any doubts, please telegram me. I will be able to clarify it. Okay, I'm Madhavi. Okay, you can remember my name. I'll be there in the group. Okay. Ethics. So here again, these code-based questions, they have not mentioned anything. What do you mean by, or what is the relevance? Nothing they have mentioned. But how you will write for these types of questions, that is questions which have codes. Okay, simply what it means, or what is the crux of the code. You should tell the crux of the code, then the relevance, or you can say what are the implications. Again, simple impact or implications if it is followed or if it is not followed. Okay, then relevance, then case study. Okay, even if they have not asked, you should be giving all these dimensions in the answers. Okay, simple as that. Ethics is knowing the difference between what you have the right to do, what is right to do. Potter Stewart. Forget who's the author. I mean, who's the person who has given. What it means, ethics is knowing the difference between what you have the right to do, what is right to do. Simple as that. You have the right to do in a democratic country, but you should know what is right. Okay, freedom of right to privacy, right to freedom of movement, everything is there. You can tell everything and say which is right, which is wrong. Right to privacy is there. You should not see others' WhatsApp messages. Okay, even if it is your husband or husband to be. Okay, so like this, there are things that you have to make it very practical. Give practical examples. Don't give me theoretical examples. Annai Teresa, appadila inga eludadinga. Okay, give very, very practical examples. Okay, and very, very contemporary, very, very recent examples like this right to privacy. And the mother, recent examples. And simply, and you can also say you have the media has the right to post anything, but they should not troll or defame others or put memes which hurts the society or which hurts the religious minorities, like this. Okay, so like this you can quote here. இங்க பாருங்க, இதுல வந்து இண்டிவிஜுவல் எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்லலாம், ஆர்கனைசேஷன் எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்றேன். இங்க வந்து நான் சொல்றேன் மீடியாக்கு ஒரு ரைட் இருக்கு, சிவில் சர்வன்ஸ்க்கு ஒரு ரைட் இருக்கு, இண்டிவிஜுவலா உனக்கு ஒரு ரைட் இருக்கு, என்ஜிஓஸ்க்கு ஒரு ரைட் இருக்கு, அப்படியே சொல்லுங்க. That is other dimension that you have to give. Okay, media has right. It has more right than you. I mean, more right than an individual. Okay, but it should not affect the minorities or communities. There is recent examples. There is one person, or even stand-up comedians. Okay, comedy in பேர்ல அடுத்தவங்களை hurt பண்றது. See, don't quote examples in that, because those examples are people who are now in the court case. So ஒரு court case அவங்க மேல நடக்குதுன்னா அவங்கள எக்ஸாம்பிளா போடாதீங்க. Okay, because it is sub judice ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Okay, sub judice means the problem is in the court. Okay, so you should not talk about that or give examples. Only the one who is convicted. If he is convicted, you can quote this boy has written a comedy on this minority or this community which hurted them. Even this person, yaar avaru or book எழுதினாரே, one part நம்மளோட தமிழ்நாடு பெருமாள் முருகன். You can quote that as an example. Okay, but in the other way, பெருமாள் முருகன் அவர் பண்ணது தப்புன்னு கோட்டு சொல்லியிருந்தா நீங்க அதை எக்ஸாம்பிள் எழுதிருக்கலாம். பெருமாள் முருகன் பண்ணது தப்பு இல்லைன்னு கோட்டு சொன்னதுனால நீங்க அதை கூட எழுதலாம். Okay, fine. So that is the way you will give some most contemporary examples. Okay. See here, ethical competence in practice is must, although laws are there, because there is a possibility of. Here, another dimension here is ethics is knowing the difference between what you have the right to do. See, rights உங்களுக்கு எப்படி வருது? Through constitution, There is something called as natural rights. There is something called as human rights. Okay, there is something called as constitutional rights. There is something called as legal rights. Yes, right to vote. What right is that? No, it's not a constitutional right. Legal right. Okay, it's a legal right. So you have to say there are rights given by the constitution or laws. Okay, but the law itself has told the restrictions. Even if they have not told, ethics will come there and say which is right. So this is another dimension that you have to give in your answers. Okay, fine. (3)B. If a country is to be corruption-free and become a nation of beautiful minds, I strongly feel that there are 3 key societal members who can make a difference. They are the father, mother, and teacher. Actually, in the question start பண்ணும்போது அப்படின்னு தோணுச்சு. Why? Because to the previous question, what I concluded was, I concluded that saying that what right to do has to be taught by the mother, father, teacher அப்படின்னு எழுதி கன்க்ளூட் பண்ணேன். அடுத்த கொஸ்டின் பார்த்தா ஐயோ இப்படி ஒரு கன்க்ளூஷன் கொடுத்துட்டேன் அப்படின்னு தோணுச்சு. See there can ஆனா அந்த நான் அழிக்கல. See, I just kept it as such because you have to know it. Because there are sometimes happens that நீங்க ஒரு ஆன்சர் எழுதுவீங்க, அந்த ஆன்சர் இன்னொரு கொஸ்டினுக்கே ஆன்சரா வரும். It happens. Okay. Abdul said, okay, so you have to tell what Abdul Kalam means by the statement. So what is the crux of the statement? Then you have to say how the mother, father, and the teacher will contribute to the development of the child. Okay, and then what you will see, tell example for better, good student or good bad student, good citizen, bad citizen, or good child or bad child. ஏதாச்சும் ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா then it's fine. பேட் சைல்டுக்கு எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுக்கலனாலும் பரவாயில்ல, குட் சைல்டுக்கு ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுத்துருங்க. ஓகே, உங்க பேர் எழுதி வச்சுக்காதீங்க. சரியா? ஓகே, so this is another thing. See, there are if you understand, there are different kinds of parenting. Authoritarian parenting, authoritative parenting, democratic parenting, அப்படிலாம் parenting methods இருக்கு. உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சா எழுதுங்க, இல்லைனாலும் பரவாயில்ல. Parenting methods இருக்கு. ரோல் மாடலிங், பாசிட்டிவ் ரீஇன்ஃபோர்ஸ்மெண்ட், அந்த மாதிரி மெத்தட்ஸும் இருக்கு. parenting methods. If you know, write it, or in simple words say, the mother will teach by telling stories. The mother will teach by saying no or yes to certain things. Okay. Father will tell them like this. You can say in normal words also. If you know the keywords, very well, good, right? If not, don't. Otherwise, my answers will help you a little bit. Okay. (3C). And there are, you cannot help that certain times you wanted to use another quote, another similar quote like Abdul Kalam's quote. Okay, you will be tempted to write. ஏன்னா நீங்க எஸ்ஏக்கு நிறைய கோட்ஸ் படிச்சிருப்பீங்க. அந்த கோட்டை வந்து டீச்சர், who is the best teacher அப்படின்னு ஒரு கோட் எழுதலாம் தோணும். Please don't write, because the question is already a quote. You should not write another quote for the same or use a different word. இது அரிஸ்டாட்டில் எப்படி சொன்னார்னா, நான் ஐன்ஸ்டைன் சொன்னத கோட்டை எழுதுறேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு சிமிலர் கோட்டை எழுதாதீங்க. Okay, please don't. 3C. You understood what I'm saying? அதே மாதிரி similar meaning ஓட கோட்டை எழுதாதீங்க. You tell the meaning of the quote, not the another quote with the same meaning. Okay. Judge your success by what you had to give up in order to get it. This is a very, very tedious question. I felt so. Okay. இதுக்கு முன்னாடி கூட எழுத முடிஞ்சது, but yes, it is difficult because அப்புறம் வந்து என் கசன்லாம் குத்துவான். அண்ணி நீ எப்படி ஈஸின்னு சொல்ல முடியும், எவ்வளவு கஷ்டப்பட்டேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும். So I don't tell it is easy, but this was most difficult for me, I felt. Okay. Judge your success but what you had to give up in order to get it, by Dalai Lama. நிறைய சாக்ரிஃபைஸ் பண்ணணும் லைஃப்ல ஒரு சக்சஸ் வேணும்னா அப்படின்ற ஒரு சிம்பிள் வேர்டு தான் இது. ஆனா எழுதுறதுதான் கஷ்டமா இருந்தது. What sacrifice you would have got? UPSC aspirant ஒரு sacrifice தானே. Yes, but you have to quote in different aspects. What is the sacrifice of the soldier? What is the sacrifice of the civil servants? They don't have a family life. Okay. Businessman. Okay. There are examples that you have to say. One good example that I was thinking is, நிறைய successful people have been a dropout of college. எங்க காலேஜ்ல இருந்து நிறைய dropouts வந்து ரொம்ப successful ஆயிட்டாங்க. You know SSN, right? I think most of the people know SSN. There are lots of dropouts who became successful. Okay, so even Bill Gates is a dropout. So he have sacrificed his college life to make an empire out of empire or internet empire or whatever you can call it. Give some example like that. He has sacrificed his college life. Even I wanted to write, I was very tempted to write, our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, have left his personal life to serve the country, but it would be very political, so I just refrained from it. Yes, true, no? Even Abdul Kalam was sleeping as a scientist. When he was a scientist, even after that, he was a scientist, he was sleeping less than 5 hours a day. So you sacrifice your sleep. Okay, you can quote any number of examples here. Whatever examples that you know, write it. But tell them what sacrifice means first. Chumma example tirichingna answer illadu. Okay, you should tell what is the sacrifice the people want to have to give. Like the sacrifice on health, sacrifice of the family life, sacrifice of the some passion even. Okay, you have to sacrifice some passion or something for your sake of the family. To yearn for the family, you should be leaving something behind. Yes. And even failure is a sacrifice. Failures have many sacrifices to be done. You agree? Aspirant and the video. Okay, section B. You read this case study? It's a simple case study where Prabhat is a vice president of an electric limited. Okay. He has his own financial problem. Okay. He has one person who is coming to be a manager. Okay. He has a bid document of a rival company. Okay, அவர்கிட்ட வந்து bid இருக்கு. அந்த bid வந்து யாரோடதுன்னா rival company ஓடது. He is saying, if you post me as a manager, I will give you this bid document. Okay, he is trading this as a manager, and he wants to give this this bid document, because this bid document would fetch a tender from the government of defense. Okay, புரியுதா? படிக்கலையா? You didn't study this case study? படிச்சிட்டீங்களா? Question வாசிட்டீங்க. ஒண்ணு இல்ல. See, Prabhat ஒருத்தர் இருக்காரு, vice president of Sterling Electric Limited. He has a bad financial health. Okay, அவருக்கு ரொம்ப காசு பிரச்சனை இருக்கு. அவர் கம்பெனியும் ரொம்ப மோசமா போயிட்டு இருக்கு. The sales of the company is very down. What is the one important thing is, they will get a tender from the defense department. If they get the tender only, the company will grow. But there is very least probability that they will get the tender. There is another person who is saying that I have the bid document of the rival company, and if you give me a manager post, I will give you this bid document so that you will win the tender in the government of defense. So this is the case study. Okay, understood? Okay. Now, what is discuss the ethical issues involved in the case. See, again, the questions are very, very same. They're asking you ethical issues. What are the options that the Prabhat will have? What are the merits and demerits of the options? Then what is the way forward that Prabhat will do? And then what are the ethical dilemmas the Prabhat will have? இதே 5 question, அதாவது ABCDE, இந்த 5 question தான் எல்லா கேஸ் ஸ்டடியிலும் கேட்டிருக்காங்க. See this, I have written my own answer for this. the approach for case studies is you have to write an introduction giving a small crux of the case study. Then you should mention who are the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? யாரெல்லாம் இந்த ப்ராப்ளம்ல இன்வால்வ் ஆயிருக்காங்க, ஓகே, அதனால பாதிக்கப்படுறாங்க, இவங்க எல்லாருமே ஸ்டேக் ஹோல்டர்ஸ் தான். ஓகே, then you will give the answers to A, B, C, D, E. ஓகே, ஃபைன். தட் இஸ் ஹவ் யூ வில். இங்க வந்து நான் ஸ்டேக் ஹோல்டர்ஸ் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எழுதிருக்கேன், இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன் செகண்ட் எழுதிருக்கேன். இப்படி எழுதாதீங்க. இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன் தான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வரணும், இன்ட்ரோன்னு எழுதிடாதீங்க. பிகாஸ் எனக்கு வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கிரக்ஸ் தெரியணும்ல, அதனால நான் வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டேக் ஹோல்டர்ஸ் எழுதிட்டு இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன் எழுதிருக்கேன். யூ கேன் ரைட் திஸ் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அண்ட் தென் தி செகண்ட். So who are the stakeholders involved? Prabhat, MNC, that is multinational company, local bosses, London-based head office, executive director Subhash Verma, Ministry of Defence, even his personal, his relations, Prabhat oda relations இதெல்லாம் எழுதல, நீங்க எழுதிக்கோங்க. Prabhat oda relations, okay, அதெல்லாம் வந்து உள்ள வரும். What is the question they have asked? Ethical issues. These are the ethical issues that they have. Professional competency versus ethical competency. அதாவது ப்ரொஃபஷனலா கம்பெனியை நான் வந்து grow ஆகிறதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணணும்? I have to save my company. What I have to do? I have to defeat the rival company. So I will accept Subhash Verma's proposal. Okay, this is professional competency. What is ethical competency? Okay, it is wrong to accept the bid document like that. Okay, so what is competency means? Or you can simply write professional ethics and professional ethics. Okay, public ethics. Or you can say just public ethics is fine. Okay, fine. So this is another word you can use. Okay, then unethical success versus ethical failure. This is the idea. Super. Unethical success versus ethical failure. This is very important. Yes, if you be ethical, you will fail. You may fail. You should not say you will fail. You may fail because நீங்க bid கரெக்டா கூட வச்சு ஜெயிச்சிடலாம். Okay, unethical success, that is very wrong. So these are some of the ethical issues that you can talk about. Next, another, what are the options that Prabhat will have? Okay, this another ethical issue. Corporate growth versus corporate governance. Corporate வந்து நல்லா வளரணும்னு நினைக்கணுமா இல்ல நல்லா வாழணும்னு நினைக்கணுமா? இப்போ அந்த பிட் டாக்குமெண்ட் நான் அக்செப்ட் பண்ணி சுபாஷ் வர்மாவை அக்செப்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன்னா கம்பெனி சேவ் ஆயிடும். ஆனா கம்பெனி கார்பரேட் கவர்னன்ஸ்னா கம்பெனியை வந்து ப்ராப்பரா ரூல்ஸ் அண்ட் ரெகுலேஷன்ல எத்திக்கலா கவர்ன் பண்றது, அது நடக்காது. ஓகே, தென் ப்ரொஃபஷனல் வர்சஸ் பர்சனல் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட். ஓகே, so he has to save the company. If he has to save the company, he has to accept Subhash Verma proposal, or he will lose a job. If he loses a job, it will affect his personal interest. Okay. What are the options? See, again, you can give 2 or more options. See, the important strategy is this. Options னு கேட்டாங்கன்னா 3 இல்லனா 4 options கொடுக்கலாம். Okay. It has to be very practical. Okay, ரொம்ப தியரிட்டிக்கலா எழுதாதீங்க. It has to be very practical and there are certain rules that you have to give the options. ரொம்ப அன்எத்திக்கலாவும் கொடுக்க கூடாது. See, you have to give all the options. அதாவது இப்ப சுபாஷ் வர்மாவை அக்செப்ட் பண்றது ஒரு ஆப்ஷன் தான், சுபாஷ் வர்மாவை அக்செப்ட் பண்ணாதது ஒரு ஆப்ஷன் தான். ஓகே, ஆனா கடைசியா நீங்க எந்த ஆப்ஷன் அக்செப்ட் பண்ணணும்? எத்திக்கல் ஆப்ஷனை தான் அக்செப்ட் பண்ணணும். சோ இங்க ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் கொடுக்கும் போது யூ கிவ் 2 or 3 examples, not more than 5, 6 எல்லாம் சில பேர் கொடுக்குறாங்க. எனக்கும் தெரியும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இது இந்த ஸ்கூபி டூபிடூல சஸ்பெக்ட்னு சொல்லிட்டு நிறைய சஸ்பெக்ட்ஸ் கொடுப்பாங்க. அது மாதிரி நிறைய ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் கொடுப்பீங்க. ப்ளீஸ் டோன்ட். ஸ்கூபி டூபி பார்க்கலன்னா நோ ப்ராப்ளம். ஓகே, ஸோ Do that. See here, the first option is reject Subhash Verma proposal and have fair play. This is the first ethical. So வந்து நான் வந்து நல்ல விதமா தான் பண்ணுவேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ரிஜெக்ட் சுபாஷ் வர்மா. B, accept Subhash Verma proposal and achieve the tender. இது unethical. Okay. C, accept Subhash Verma as a manager, reject the opponent's bid document. Okay, Subhash Verma, you are good as a manager, but we don't need this bid document. இது possibility இருக்கு. Okay. இது D, sorry. Reject Subhash Verma as a manager and also reject his offer. Okay. So this is the 4 options that I thought to give. You can have your own options. One is this. So இதுல வந்து எப்படி எழுதுவீங்கன்னா, see, questionல வந்து what are the options that Prabhat has அப்படின்னு மட்டும் கேட்டிருந்தாங்கன்னா, you will just write only the options. Evaluate the options that Prabhat will have அப்படின்னா மட்டும்தான் நீங்க மெரிட்ஸ் அண்ட் டிமெரிட்ஸ் எழுதுவீங்க. ஓகே, இல்ல அப்படி எதுவுமே சொல்லல அப்படின்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னா எவ்வளவு மார்க் கொடுத்திருக்காங்களோ அதுக்கேற்ற மாதிரி மெரிட்ஸ் அண்ட் டிமெரிட்ஸ் எழுதணுமான்னு யோசிக்கணும். புரியுதா? வெறும் ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் மட்டும் கேட்டுட்டு 20 மார்க்னு கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா நீங்க வெறும் ஆப்ஷன் எழுதிட்டு வரக்கூடாது. Based on the marks, see whether you have to write your merits and demerits or you will write only options. Because இதுல வந்து இன்னொரு சப்டிவிஷன்ல கேட்டிருக்காங்கனால இங்க மெரிட்ஸ் டிமெரிட்ஸ் எழுதணும்னு அவசியம் இல்ல, கீழே எழுதினா போதும். புரியுதா? நோ. எவாலுவேட் கேட்டிருந்தா இங்கே மெரிட்ஸ் அண்ட் டிமெரிட்ஸ் எழுதிருங்க. அப்படி கேட்கலன்னா எழுதணும்னு அவசியம் இல்ல. ஆனா மார்க்ஸ் பொறுத்து நீங்க எழுதணுமா எழுதக்கூடாதா நீங்க தான் டிசைட் பண்ணணும். ஓகே. So reject Subhash Verma proposal and have fair play. What are the merits? It's ethical, corporate governance. இதெல்லாம் எழுதுவீங்க. What is the demerits? The company may lose. Okay. Personal life will rule. இதெல்லாம் எழுதணும். Okay, but you have to use certain ethical words here. Okay. Not employing unethical person who may cheat like he did with the old company. Old company cheat பண்ணிருக்கான், நம்ம கம்பெனியை cheat பண்ண மாட்டான்னு என்ன நிச்சயம்? Company play fairly in tender process. No crisis of conscience. அதாவது ஐயோ தப்பு பண்ணிட்டோன்னு உங்களுக்கு மனசாட்சி குத்தக்கூடாது. ஓகே. இன்னொன்னு, company have trust and transparency, accountability. Company should have some accountability. No, it should not accept the bid document of another company. Another demerit is company may lose out, personal life may perish if loss of jobs. Accept Subhash Verma proposal and achieve the tender. Company gets saved, personal not versions defeat rival company, get best intellectual as manager. இதுவும் சொல்லணும். ஏன்னா சுபாஷ் வர்மா இஸ் த ரைட் பர்சன் அவர் சொல்லியிருக்காரு கேஸ் ஸ்டடியில. டிமெரிட்ஸ் என்ன? கம்பெனி மே ஃபேஸ் லீகல் இஷ்யூ காட். சுபாஷ் வர்மா மே சீட் ஹிஸ் கம்பெனி ஆல்சோ, திஸ் கம்பெனி ஆல்சோ. கிரைசிஸ் ஆஃப் கான்சென்ட். அப்படி அங்க என்ன டிமெரிட் மெரிட் இருந்ததோ இங்க டிமெரிட் ஆயிடுது. இங்க இன்னொரு விஷயமும் நான் இன்னொரு இதுல சொல்லியிருப்பேன். இதுல கடைசியில என்ன ஆப்ஷன் கேட்டிருப்பாங்க? See, if the tender வந்து கம்பெனி மட்டும் யோசிக்க கூடாது. இங்க வந்து இது என்ன டெண்டர்? டிஃபென்ஸ் டெண்டர், டிஃபென்ஸ் கான்ட்ராக்ட் டெண்டர். இப்போ இந்த கம்பெனி தப்பு பண்ண யாரு அஃபெக்ட் ஆகும்? Defense relation or defense will be getting affected. So the answers should include that also. நான் எங்க எழுதிருக்கேன்னு தெரியல, பட் ரிமெம்பர் திஸ். ஓகே. சோ டிஃபென்ஸ் கான்ட்ராக்ட்ல டிலே ஆயிடும். இப்ப சே ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் நானே அதாவது ஸ்டெர்லிங் எலக்ட்ரிக் லிமிடெடே ஜெயிச்சிருச்சுன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, தப்பா ஜெயிச்சிருச்சுன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. அதாவது சுபாஷ் வர்மா ப்ரொபோசல் அக்செப்ட் பண்ணி ஜெயிச்சிருச்சுன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. இது கடைசியில தெரிஞ்சதுன்னா என்ன ஆகும்? லிட்டிகேஷன் நடக்கும். அதாவது அந்த கம்பெனி மேல கேஸ் போடுவாங்க. அப்படினாலும் என்ன ஆகும்? டிஃபென்ஸ் கான்ட்ராக்ட் என்ன ஆகும்? டிலே ஆயிடும். அதனால ப்ரொக்யூர்மெண்ட் டிலே ஆகும். அதனால என்ன ஆகும்? நேஷனல் செக்யூரிட்டிக்கு ப்ராப்ளம் வரும் அப்படின்னு எழுதணும். ஓகே. சோ பிரபாத் should not only think about his company or think about his personal life. He should think about the national security also. He should think about the national interest also. So the answer should include that also. Okay. So the next question. Where is it? Okay. So this is another thing. Ramesh is a state civil service officer who got the opportunity of getting posted to the capital of the border state. Only in the simple illegal migrants issue nadakudhu. Okay. The civil servant or the IAS officer came to know about it. He's producing a report that saying that illegal migrants varanga ulla. The state security force is also negligent about it. Or அவங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சே அமைதியா இருக்காங்க. இல்ல அவங்க ஹெல்ப் பண்றாங்க illegal migrants க்கு அப்படின்னு. And also they are able to get the Aadhaar card. எல்லா கார்டும் அவங்களால ஈஸியா வாங்க முடியுது அப்படின்னு ஒரு ரிப்போர்ட் வந்து எடுத்துட்டு வராரு. The Home Secretary, Additional Secretary is saying that please don't submit this report, because if you submit this report, it will create a bad name for the security force, for the department. So the report வந்து மறைச்சிடுங்க, ஒண்ணும் பண்ணாதீங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. So this is the case. Okay. So what are the, again they're asking what are the options? Okay. Here they're asking what are the options available? What option should Ramesh adopt? Critically evaluate each of the options. Ethical dilemmas. What are the policy measures to combat the illegal migrants? Okay. So these are the questions. What are the options available to Ramesh? He can submit the report. He may not submit the report. ரெண்டு ஆப்ஷன் இருக்கு. ஆனா may not submit the report. Okay. Submit the report நிறைய விஷயம் இருக்கு. He can submit the report to higher authorities. But அவங்க வேணாம்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்களா? He can convince the higher authorities to take the report. Or he can tell the higher authorities in the report நீங்க submit பண்ண கூடாதுன்னு நீங்க எழுதி கொடுங்க. அப்பதான் நான் submit பண்ண மாட்டேன்னு. You should get them in writing. That is you have to make them accountable. Okay, இன்னொரு விஷயம் இருக்கு. I can send a report to the media. You whistleblow. Whistleblow பண்றது என்னது? அப்படியே மீடியாக்கு அனுப்பிட்டு நீங்க எனக்கு ஒண்ணு தெரியாதுப்பா, திடீர்னு அது காண போயிடுச்சு அந்த ரிப்போர்ட் அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். ஓகே, there are people who are doing it for good reasons. Okay, so these are the 4 options that I have. Okay, ஒரு ஆப்ஷன் வச்சுட்டோம், இன்னும் 3 ஆப்ஷனை டிஃபரெண்டா ஸ்ப்ளிட் பண்ணிட்டோம். Okay, so what are the merits and demerits you will say. Okay, and what are the policy measures? Ethical dilemmas, I'll discuss that answer. Just இத வச்சே சொல்லலாம். What are the policy measures to tackle the illegal migrants? Border security ல படிச்சது, governance ல படிச்சது, எல்லாத்தையும் கொண்டு வாங்க. Geography ல படிச்சது. Bring all that aspects into it. What are the first thing? What are the laws for the illegal migrants? There is some law, foreign laws in Dhinakaran, foreigners law. Okay, there is a foreigners law. Okay, that is there. Then there is United Nations conventions on it. Then you can have a diplomatic relations with the neighboring country. Then you can strengthen the border fence. You can strengthen the border infrastructure. You can strengthen the border forces. Then okay. So coming to the answers, what are the options? Talk to the high authorities. So நீங்க வந்து introduction கொடுத்துருவீங்க, stakeholders கொடுத்துருவீங்க. I'm not telling that. What are the options? Talk to the higher authorities and convince them of illegal migrants and the repercussions of it. Write a report, note your findings, ask higher authorities to give in writing their reply, whatever it is. Whistleblow the report or do as per the additional home secretary said and drop the report. இதுதான் 4 options. Okay. இன்னொன்னு, see what the Ramesh has to do அப்படின்னா ஆப்ஷனை வச்சு அப்படியே சொல்லாதீங்க. ரமேஷ் என்ன பண்ணுவாரு? ரமேஷ் என்ன பண்ணுவாரு? போய் ஹையர் அத்தாரிட்டிஸ்ட பேசுவாரு. He will talk to the higher authorities to accept the report. இப்படிலாம் பிரச்சனை இருக்கு, illegal migrants இப்படி வந்தாங்கன்னா ரொம்ப பிரச்சனை ஆயிடும், பின்காலத்துல ரொம்ப பிரச்சனை ஆயிடும். He will convince the higher authorities. Okay, if the higher authorities is not healing, he will go to higher authorities. Okay, he will follow all the due procedure, then only he will go whistleblow. Okay, so that is how you have to write your way forward. Okay, then what are the options? Merits, demerits. Okay, you will write this. What I have to discuss is this dilemmas. What are the ethical dilemmas? Again, same word. Professional ethics versus personal interest. What is the personal interest mentioned in the case study? There is something in personal interest mentioned in the case study. Because that is he has a promotion to be coming. And he also has a cancer patient in his family. And he has college going students, children in his family. So these are the personal interests which is mentioned in the case study. Hide the dereliction of duty of security forces versus resolving illegal migrants. இப்போ security forces வந்து illegal migrants க்கு help பண்றாங்க. இப்போ security forces காப்பாத்துவீங்களா, illegal migrants காப்பாத்துவீங்களா? இந்த டயலமா இருக்கா? illegal migrants நீங்க வந்து தப்புன்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னா you should security forces மாட்டிக்குவாங்க. Yes, security forces பண்ணது okay அப்படி விட்டுட்டோம்னா illegal migrants தப்பிச்சிடுவாங்க. So these are the ethical dilemmas that the person has. Okay, another ethical dilemma is obeying higher authorities versus upholding national interest. Okay, higher authorities சொல்றதை நான் அக்செப்ட் பண்ணேன்னா national interest பாதிக்கும். Okay, so these are the ethical dilemmas that you have to mention. Okay, so what are the policy measures? One is Foreigners Act. நான் சொன்னது நான் எழுதல, but you please write it, Foreigners Act. Okay, another is United Nations Convention also you can say, non-repatriate. Okay, you can say. Another is diplomatic engagement and joint patrolling with neighboring country. You can join patrol. அதாவது இப்போ neighboring country மியான்மரோ இல்ல சைனாவா இருந்தானா you join patrol to avoid the illegal migrants. Okay, humanitarian assistance for illegal migrants. See, illegal migrants னு சொல்லிட்டு நீங்க வந்து அவங்கள போய் இன்னொரு ஐலாண்ட்ல போய் தள்ளி விட்டுற கூடாது. Okay, you should provide humanitarian assistance to them first. Creating employment avenues domestically for migrants in their home country. இப்ப say for example ஸ்ரீலங்கால நம்ம அதுதான் பண்றோம். இப்ப தமிழ் மக்கள் வந்து நம்ம கண்ட்ரிக்கு வந்து இல்லீகல் மைக்ரன்ஸா வராங்க. அதுக்கு நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம், அவங்களுக்கு அப்படி வரக்கூடாதுன்னா அவங்க கண்ட்ரியில போய் அவங்களுக்கு வீடு கட்டி தரோம். அவங்க கண்ட்ரிக்கு போய் அவங்களுக்கு வேலை வாய்ப்பு எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட் அவென்யூஸ் கிரியேட் பண்றோம். அவங்களுக்கு போட் கொடுக்குறோம், அவங்களுக்கு வீடு கொடுக்குறோம். So that the people will not come as illegal migrants to our country. Like this we do for Bangladesh, we do for Myanmar also. You can mention that here. Okay, you are creating employment avenues for them in their home country by providing aid or providing any infrastructure. Even in Afghanistan, we are providing infrastructure there so that people will be employed there and they don't go as the illegal migrants to Pakistan or India. இந்தியாவுக்கு தான் வரணும்னு அவசியம் இல்லை. அவங்க illegal migrants ஈரானுக்கு போவாங்க, இல்லைன்னா பாகிஸ்தானுக்கு போய் செத்துருவாங்க. அதுக்கு நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம், அவங்களோட கண்ட்ரிலேயே அவங்களுக்கு எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட் அவென்யூஸ் கிரியேட் பண்றோம். Providing transit rights, இது வேற இருக்கு. See, illegal migrants நம்ம கிட்ட எதுக்கு வராங்க, அவங்களால ஒண்ணுமே பண்ண முடியல அவங்க கண்ட்ரியில. ஓகே, ஒண்ணுமே பண்ண முடியல. நம்ம வந்து எவ்வளவுதான் அவங்களுக்கு எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட் அங்க ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணாலும் அப்பயும் அவங்களுக்கு ஒண்ணும் பண்ண முடியல. So they are coming to our country. We are providing them transit rights. அதாவது மார்னிங் வந்துட்டு நீங்க நைட்டு கிளம்பிடணும். இப்படிதான் மியான்மர்ல மணிப்பூர்ல எல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. சாரி, திரிபுரால பண்ணிருக்காங்க. திரிபுரால எப்படி பண்ணிருக்காங்கன்னா, they will provide a transit rights. What is that? They will come in the morning, they will work in Tripura, in the night they will return to Myanmar. Okay, so that the people are able to have labor force. Tripuraku கிடைச்சது, திரிபுராக்கு லேபர் ஃபோர்ஸ் கிடைச்சிச்சு, இல்லீகல் மைக்ரன்ஸும் இங்கே வந்து குடித்தனம் நடத்தாம திரும்பி போயிடுறாங்க. So it's a win-win situation. Okay, it's a win-win situation that the Tripura government has done. Okay, so like this you can quote examples. And then you strengthen the border. force, border fence, border infrastructure, surveillance, supervision, camera, CCTV, என்ன வேணாலும் எழுதுங்க. Okay, fine. Those are the security. நீங்க படிச்சிருப்பீங்கல்ல அந்த விஷயத்தை இம்போர்ட் பண்ணணும். Next question. Okay, you have done MBA from a reputed institution 3 years back but could not get campus placement. Ninth question தான் எழுதுறேன். இல்ல இது 9th தான். நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் 10th படிச்சிட்டேன், அதுக்கப்புறம் 10th delete பண்ணாம 9th question. Okay, so you have done an MBA from reputed institution. Okay, 3 years back. One minute. What is my 9th question? Okay, sorry. அது நான் படிக்கவே இல்லை. Okay, because it will be done by ma'am. Okay, the Supreme Court has banned mining in Aravalli Hills. So stone mining, simple. இது வந்து ரொம்ப பெரிய எக்ஸாம்பிள். ஒரு ஸ்டோன் மைனிங் வந்து ஒரு எஸ்பி வந்து தடுக்கணும்னு நினைப்பாரு. He will be killed. He will be killed in the process of fighting with the mining mafia. So mining mafia ஒரு பெரிய விஷயம்ப்பா. If you have read many things, mining mafia ஒரு பெரிய gang. They have killed many SP police officers. So this is another case. Here there is a person who is called Ashok, who is an investigative journalist who will find the people who are involved in this mining mafia. He will also find that there are many local MLAs and many officers who are involved in this, who are cognizant of this information. They have been having a nexus with mining mafia. இத கண்டுபிடிச்சு அந்த ஜேர்னலிஸ்ட் வந்து இந்த ரிப்போர்ட்டை வந்து சேனல்ல பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணணும். இட் இஸ் a மீடியா சேனல்ல பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணணும்னு வந்துட்டாரு. ஒரே மாதிரி தானே இருக்கு. மீடியா சேனல்ல பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணணும்னு வந்துட்டாங்க. The media channel says that we cannot publish this report because this MLA is having a share in the channel. Okay, so this is the case study. What are the stakeholders? You will say. What are the crux? You will say. What are the options? Do as per the CMD of the channel says. CMD என்ன சொல்றாரு? சேனலோட CMD என்ன சொல்றாரு? ரிப்போர்ட் என்ன பண்ணாதீங்க, விட்டுருங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்றாரு. Show the report taking out MLA name and expose few. It is a half truth. Half truth நீங்க வந்து ரிலீஸ் பண்றீங்க. Expose report in social media independently. Okay. அந்த டிவி சேனல்ல போடாம நீங்க சோஷியல் மீடியால போடுறீங்க. Give the report to the police or higher government officials. இது நல்லா இருக்குல்ல? போலீஸ் கிட்ட நீங்க அந்த ரிப்போர்ட்டை கொடுத்துறீங்க. நான் அந்த ஜேர்னலிஸ்ட் நான் போலீஸ் கிட்ட கொடுத்துறேன். Fine. Or you persuade your CMD of the TV channel to publish the report to act ethically. இல்ல சேனலுக்கு ரொம்ப நல்ல பேர் வரும், நீங்க இந்த ரிப்போர்ட் இது பண்ணுங்க, MLA இருந்தாதான் நல்ல TRP ரேட் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகும். பாருங்க, அவங்க கம்பெனில இருக்க ஷேர் MLA வந்து அவங்க பேரு வச்சு போட்டிருக்காங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நல்ல டிஆர்பி போடுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு கன்வின்ஸ் பண்ணுவோம். இட் ஹேப்பன்ஸ். நோ, இந்த படத்துல ரீசெண்டா ஒரு விஜய் படத்துல வந்ததுல எலெக்ஷன் நடக்குது இல்ல, கடைசியா முடிப்பான்ல, யூ ஆர் யூசிங் இட் ஃபார் எலெக்ஷன் நடக்குதுல, புரியலையா உங்களுக்கு? அந்த படத்துல யூஸ் பண்ணுவான், எலெக்ஷன் நடக்குதுல செய்வாங்க அப்படின்னு விஜய் கடைசியா அவனே சொல்லிட்டு செய்ய வைப்பான். Okay, so that it happens. Okay, so you will evaluate ethical dilemmas. What is the ethical dilemmas? Journalist ethics versus protecting personal interest. His life will be at stake. The SP கொண்டுட்டானா இவனை கொல்றதுக்கு எவ்வளவு நேரம் ஆகும்? Okay. Moral fortitude to fight against the illegal mafia. Moral fortitude na என்ன? நான் வந்து உண்மைக்கு குரல் கொடுப்பேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அதுதான் மாரல் ஃபார்ட்டிடியூட். ஓகே. ஆர் சேவிங் த சேனல் அண்ட் அப்பீஸ் MLA. ஓகே. ஒபே CMD வர்சஸ் ஃபைட் ஃபார் ஜஸ்டிஸ் ஃபார் SP. இது இருக்குல்ல, மைனிங் மாஃபியாவுக்கு நீங்க வந்து மைனிங் மாஃபியா அகைன்ஸ்டா போறீங்கன்னா யூ ஆர் ஃபைட்டிங் ஃபார் த SP who has died. Okay, so these are the ethical dilemmas that you will mention. Then what is the action that you will do? You will first try persuading CMD. Then if he is not saying no, if he is saying no, you will you will give to the police. If the police is also not assisting, then you make it in the social media. Okay, அப்படின்னு ஒவ்வொரு ப்ராசஸா நீங்க சொல்லணும். Okay, this is how you will tell what are the actions that the Ashok will do. Okay, and you have to sacrifice your promotion and job. இதையும் சொல்லணும். எல்லா ஆஸ்பெக்டையும் கவர் பண்ணணும். Okay, another question ஒன்னு கேட்டிருந்தாங்க. I will stop with this. In the above scenario, what type of training would you suggest for police officers posted to such districts where stone mining illegal activities are rampant? என்ன சொல்லுவீங்க? என்ன போலீஸ் ஆபீசர்ஸ்க்கு எந்த மாதிரி ட்ரைனிங்? இந்த மாதிரி மைனிங் மாஃபியா இவ்வளவு பெரிய கேங்க வந்து அவங்க வந்து இது they have a muscle power, they have money power, they have political power. Okay, it is very hard. திடீர்னு வந்து இப்ப கூட ஒரு ட்ரக் லாரி வந்து எஸ்பியை கொண்டுடுச்சுல. Activist, okay. He's been killed. Okay, it happens, no? It is easier for them. How you will train? That's just ஒரு crux தான் கொடுக்கிறேன். You can train in ethical training, defensive training, strategic training. What is defensive training? Yes. Then how to protect himself from these people? He should be having some defensive techniques. What is the strategic training? நான் அந்த ட்ரக்க பிடிக்கிறேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு பின்னாடியே போக கூடாது. அப்போ எனக்கு அவன் பின்னாடி போனா என்னோட உயிருக்கு ஆபத்துன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அமைதியா இருக்கணும். You should hit them very last. Yes, otherwise they will kill you easily. That is the strategic training. Okay, ஒரு படத்துல I don't know, ஒரு ஜேர்னலிஸ்ட் வந்து வெளியே போகணும், ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் கேசஸ் இது பண்ணணும்னா ஏற்கனவே போலீஸ் இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணிட்டு போகணும். You should have informed the local police before he is going to that place. So like this, there are some certain protocols that he has to follow to have certain protection to his life. Okay, ஒரு ஒன் மேன் ஆர்மி மாதிரி நான் வந்து ஒரு சிங்கம் அப்புறம் எத்தனை அதெல்லாம் முடியாது. It is not possible in life. Okay, so you should be having some defensive training and strategic training. Okay, apart from the ethical training, and they have to have the standard operating procedure. They should have some guns, proper guns with them. They should be gun irna mattu pathadu. They should be trained to use that gun. Train பண்ணா மட்டும் பத்தாது. They should know where to hit by rules. Okay, where to hit and when to hit. See, you can hit in the chest also. Okay, there are situations where you have the encounters happening. Okay, yes, but there are rules for that also. So rules படி எங்க ஹிட் பண்ணனும், எப்போ அந்த இடத்துல ஹிட் பண்ணனும்ன்றது they should be aware. So அதெல்லாம் வந்து நீங்க தாராளமா எழுதலாம். Sure? Okay. All the best. You have any doubts? Okay. So ma'am will continue. I think 4:25, please be here. Okay. Please.
This is the strength or they are outside? Huh? Yet to come. Okay. We have an option. We can start 4:30. 5 minutes. You people comfortable? I mean, like ethics paper we are discussing, and ethically we have to think, right? So who are sitting here? I have to also think about you. So let's start with that. Slowly we'll move, right? See, the paper discussion purpose is not only to discuss the question, but to bring a right approach that how to attend the question paper. So this question paper basically is testing your common sense, testing how ethical you are, and the main thing which UPSC is testing in this paper is your timeline, whether you're able to complete this paper or not. And people will think that this paper they can complete, but it is not happening. Because if you see the question, they can give these questions in 2 sentences also. But their whole page, story, books, everything they have written in one question. Okay. So first psychologically start that how to approach this paper. That is most important. Otherwise, you will see the questions in completion like a GS paper 1, paper 2, and paper 3. This paper is entirely different. And that too, they kept at paper 4, that too 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So that is why when you're sitting here and able to understand 2 o'clock pressure தாங்கிட்டீங்கன்னா இந்த பேப்பர் வந்து கிராஸ் பண்ண முடியும். Okay. So this was a lengthy paper and every year they are making it more lengthy. So the observation of the paper, first what I felt is it is so lengthy paper. They have not left any questions to make it lengthy, even including the case study. Case study, what case study we are going to discuss and the case study பார்க்கும்போது it feels like whoever has set this paper, they might have, like ஏதோ tension mindல வந்து questions frame பண்ணியாச்சு அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கு. Because everybody is under conflict, all these things, roaming around like. And question paper பார்க்கும்போது we will going to discuss the case. Okay, so now basically 1 to 3 already question paper discussed. So each section will be having 2 questions. Now I am starting from this 4. This is question number 4A. So what do you understand by the term good governance? So I hope those who are the new students, the ethics paper will be consist of your philosophy part, okay, your psychology part, sociology part, and governance part. This is not as such a subject. This is the combination of this. Now, when you understand this, the implementation part, the question, the kandipa 70% will be there. So the next question here related to the governance. Okay. So the question came by what do you understand by the good governance? How far the recent initiative of the e-governance steps taken by the state have helped the beneficiaries? So the questions with the span of just 2 seconds, you have to understand here. Question asked about good governance. Even the good governance means then how the good governance is happening. So you have to make sure that you are adding the points from the good governance. Then presently what the e-governance plan the government has given, and the state words here, people will misunderstand with the state government. State is the government. You have to make sure that you are bringing it. Union government plan also, state government plan also. So how to start the question? So the first things in the ethics, what the question topic says, define it. And definition, don't give of yourself. Valid standard definitions we want. So it's your must work is if you want to increase your marks in ethics, you need a standard definition. So the standard definition for the good governance is 1992, the World Bank has given. So normally every place in good governance, they are making this definition. Now before that, since it is a class, I want to make you people understand that first it was governance, first it was government. Okay. Then it came the concept of governance. Then it came the concept of good governance. One more is there, ethical governance. E-governance is the electronic form of good governance. Okay. So now this is government means only majority shareholders and majority work will be doing by the government. Governance means not only government, but including the help of private sector, including the help of civil society, including the help of NGOs, including the help of public. So it all makes the governance. Now, what your concept of good governance is, if this governance is coming with the motive of to give most happiness to all the section of people, this is called good governance. So the point here in the good governance is it should be accountable. Accountable means suppose panchayat level a scheme has been introduced. Now the panchayat, it is a constitutional body. So since it is accountable to the people that if they make any road, if they are making that spending for any employment generation, then the next election or before the election, social audit, like the name is there. So the government should be accountable. It should be transferable, right? It should be responsive. It should give the equitable and inclusive governance to every section, effective and efficient, and participatory type of governance should be given. Okay, so this is the main content of the good governance. Now, this good governance definition is given by this World Bank in 1992, and the definition is, it is the manner in which power is exercised in the management of the country's economic and social resource for development. So it means how you're managing your resources for, like country's economic and social resources for what? For development. So this is the World Bank definition, right? So you can write with the definition, you can give this diagram in there, since it is acceptable that some portions with syllabus ethics level the predictable is. Every time with the syllabus you are going through and you are doing correctly, correct form prepare பண்ணிருக்கீங்கன்னா இதெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு ஈஸியா இருக்கும். Okay, so this is just a direct questions, nothing else. Now the second part of the question says here, what was the e-governance plan which the government took on this good governance aspect? You can write, we know about that electronic form of governance. It means that using of technology, the government is giving the facilities through technology, right? So here, Right to Information Act, we got a good governance because it is for the citizen charter, where the people can go and ask the government office that how and in which time this work is going to, what is your work, what you have done for the people, what service you have given. Then automatic grievances mechanism. Government is giving this mechanism grievances so that the issue should be solved very soon. And to hold the corruption, because you should not forget this is the ethics paper. Ethics papers always deals with ethical way, and when the ethical way will be there, when corruptions will not be there. So the corruption part e-governance plan is Lokpal and Lok Ayukta. If this point, because since it is like pages wise we have to describe, if it is possible, you can write about this, right? Very slowly and well sentence wise. Then steps to be taken to promote. Other than this is, specifically you have to say these points are Ministry of Information and Technology. They have created only to give this e-governance plan. Because suppose ministry kadayadana, then who will take care of the technology, right? So 1999, the technology ministry have been created. 12-point agenda was created for the e-governance plans for every central ministries and department. Like that, Information Technology Act 2000. Mind it here, you are defining with the good governance, but you are giving step for e-governance. Your mind should be very alert. Don't write here good governance, good governance. Effective parts we are taking here with the electronic form of governance. That is why we are talking here information technology. And government setup for this particular. See, many points are there where you have to take, which is very, like At that time, you will not recall all the points. So at least ministries wise, you can keep in touch. And the National Policy for Information Technology also adopted in 2012. Now, recently, if any scheme for the re-governance plans or any scheme government launch, that also you can include. Okay. So this was a very simple question. What was the good governance? What is the steps taken for the good governance? Who will get a marks here? Who have added the features and characteristics of good governance, who have added the policies and schemes of the government, and who have added the proper definition of the good governance. It is a valid answer in which you can score more marks, because you can't, like make the question answer here. It is there, you have to write. Okay. Next question, 4B. Now, this is the question. They said online methodology is being used for day-to-day meeting. Okay. So online methods we are using in day-to-day life, institutional approvals in the administration, and for teaching and learning in educational sector. So it is saying that online method we are using in administration, we are using in education, we are using in teaching, right, and learning, like kind of things. Now in that sector, telemedicine also included, health is also there. So it means technology is using in health, telemedicine, kind of things, education, administrations, everywhere. And in that respect, with the approval of the competent authority, no doubt it is having the advantage. It is saying in the question, it is having the advantage. But both the beneficiaries and the systems at large. But having this telemedicines and using of technology online, who having the disadvantage? It means how it is affected to the vulnerable section of the society. So the question, crux of the questions here says that issue involved for the vulnerable section of the society for using the technology. Now, as the hint is there, administration. So your answer, see, they want to test your smart work. You don't sit and again start thinking like what is the vulnerable sections, how the issue is related. Now list out this, they have given administration. Then think about administration wise, vulnerable sections. How vulnerable section is? Who are the vulnerable section? Women's, child, old age, disabled, LGBT, transgender, SC/ST, right? All these are the vulnerable section. Now, vulnerable sections causes how they are misusing or how they are facing the issue through administration way, through health way, through education way, and through any other sectors which is given in the question. You have to address the answer. Now, question itself is giving the hint that in which way you have to write. Okay. Now, see, the ethical issue involved in this method is, first of all, for common for everybody is the cyber crime, right? So the crime aspect is increasing, cyber bullying and cyber racialism. They're asking for the proper word here. Cyber bullying, cyber crime, cyber racialism, and even privacy concern, right? Sometimes, online class was there and people were forgetting to off the camera and they were doing whatever they like. Now, what will happen then? No, நிறைய டைம் தான் தெரியும் இங்க வந்துட்டு ஆபீசர் மாதிரி உட்கார்ந்துருக்காங்க பின்னாடி வந்து வைஃப் வந்து அடிக்கிறாங்க அப்படின்னா. The thing is there, privacy is not there, what to do? Then urban rural divide. When technology is reaching only city, the technology is not there for the village. So urban rural divide. Digital divide. Some people having the technology like our parents, but they don't know how to operate. So vulnerable section is also there, right? Now the thing is they want to operate and they want to see some messages. Then every time they will come, lock and see what to do. So, who told it? Because they will be the first person who will keep fingerprint. And then they don't know also like how to use it. Many a time, you have to remember like fingerprints is not, don't make them to use. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. If they're understanding previously, I'm saying now our parents become so smart. So no doubt in that. Okay, so that data privacy is also like everywhere. Our data is not privacy. Even if you're changing the phone, sometimes there is a cause like the your data is not private. No, we so educated. We are so now also very much scared. Think about these people. Online classes, ethics level, the one point you have to give the example. Now, example, if it is possible, recently what happened, it was there in the news. Kind of example you have to give. So examples you can give it here. Data privacy, Coimbatore issue, one girl that happened, right? So own teachers like exploited, lack of compliance, how where to complain about that, even we don't know. Even easily the other part of the peoples will threaten. See, sun newsல நிறைய நியூஸ் வரும். One person have something technology YouTube use பண்ணிட்டு இவ்வளவு கார் வாங்கிட்டாங்க, அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு நியூஸ் was there. Secondly, the person threatened women, something like that. Okay, all the times they are giving this news. Then telemedicine was not possible. Now we have a Practo app. How many people are using it? We feel the doctor நம்ம பார்த்த உடனே நமக்கு 50% disease கம்மியாயிடும். இந்த டாக்டர் இந்த செல்ல பார்க்கும்போது how they will know that how what we feel it. ஏன்னா நிறைய பேருக்கு எதுவுமே ஆகாது கூட, அவங்க போட்டு இல்ல என் கை வலிக்குது, தலைவலி ரொம்ப இருக்கு. ஸோ டாக்டர் அப்படியே டெஸ்ட் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறமா தான் அவங்க ஃபீலிங் வரும். டெலிமெடிசின் பீப்புள்ஸ் ஆர் நாட் ஃபீலிங் டு யூஸ் த டெக்னாலஜி தேர் அண்ட் தே ஹாவ் திஸ் பர்டிகுலர் tendency that the technology is going to not useful for them. This part also you have to say. With the example you have to talk about here that internet penetration. How many people have the phone but they are keeping only keypad phone? Where the net is there? Net irukuna, the moment when the government is saying inga vandu tower fit பண்ணிட்டேன், from today onward this village will be having net. Okay, காசு யார் கொடுக்க போறேன்? Who will give the money? That data recharge கூட நீங்க பண்ணி கொடுக்குறீங்க. So all these things, geo fiber is very important because of all this. So the question says here, the vulnerable sections having, these are the issue on the administration side and on the health side, everything you have to take care. Okay, so that these points you have to expand, you have to give the example of currently what happened in the recent city. These were the ethical issue in the technology. The next question was, it is very interesting question actually. This question is a trap actually. How I'm going to tell. The question says here, Russia and Ukraine war has been going on for the last 7 months. Yes, correct. We also know this. Different countries have taken independent stand and action, keeping in view their own national interests. So war is there, but somebody has supported the war, somebody has not supported the war on the basis of their own national interest. So we are all aware that war has its own impact on the different aspect of society. Now the hint here is impact of war in society, including human tragedy. What are those ethical issues that are crucial to be considered while launching the war? So the next is critical issue if war started. Okay, and war and its continuation so far. Illustrate with justification the issue involved in the given state of affairs. Now the question here says that war happened. War the ethical issue is what? Which is going to impact the society. Now many people will understand these questions like there should not be war. They'll start the answer like this. But the understanding and the smart understanding is they are saying war is going on. You can't go against the question first. So now you have to say ethical issue if the war has started. Okay, so many people say will become very brave. No, there we will say that no, we'll see first line itself. Don't start the war. UPSC said already started the war. Why you are coming and say don't start the war? So here, first point what you have to write it. In the option of starting the war as Russia and Ukraine, okay, the first and foremost thing is the war should not happen. But if the war is started, then what are the ethical issue involved in during this war is the term of just war. Is the just war. Just war means if you're doing the war, it is not actually wrong. but the war should be at the last resort. The dialogues and the discussion should be there before the war. And this word is actually UPSC expected here, just war. Now you are giving the quotation that killing a soldier in a war, if suppose war has started, might not generally be seen as equally bad as murdering someone at the peacetime. Giving this quotation, you are justifying that if the war is not correct, just in the namesake of the people will be going to die, then you're saying that murdering something is more bad than like people who are dying in the war. It means that war also you're showing something as a positive. If you are going to the war, then it means that you are not simply killing the person. You are war, you are fighting in the war, and then you are winning the war. So killing a soldier in a war might not generally seen as equally bad as murdering someone at the peacetime. So it question says that war does not really obey the rules, but it has to be a just war. Now, just war kaga, what is has to be done? This question you have to discuss at the point of view of the declaring and entering the war. Okay, how to enter in the war, how to end in the war. Now, enter in the war was whether it was legitimate. First, Russia had an authority to make a war. Yes. Why? Because passes the legitimate authority test. So we will test here whether Russia had a legitimate, right to start at the war. Here, if you see, it has internationally recognized when the Russia started the war to the Ukraine. They said, "I am going to declare a war." He gave the period of time. Right? So it means that first just war, Russia passed. So it was a legitimate war. Second, the just cost test is whether Russia causes a closure look means it is own safety gaga and safeguard gaga and territorial integrity gaga, one can start the war. Once we are testing with this point with the Russia, yes, correct, because it was also own safety, safeguard, and own territory integrity. We are talking about here ethical points when somebody is involving in the war. Don't forget, here we have to see war as a positive things, and in the positive things, where the ethical issue is also involved. Okay, first of all, we have said that war should not be there. It should be happen with a discussion. It should be end up. Now, once the war started, we are going with the just war. Then with the NATO constantly it's coming towards the Poland, and it was the right and Russia attack Ukraine. It was just to keep their territory safe. Okay, so we have said that right intention was fourth one. We have to check the ethical issue in the right intention. That you can't say that we know about the Russia. We just know why the war happened. Intention was right or not, we don't know. But killing a person, it's something in the war. It's okay, we can accept it if we are just dropping in the war this bomb to our schools. You give an ethical view that in the war also what is ethically right. Right? If Pakistan is dropping one bomb in the school, that is so bad, no? In the name of war, you can't do and kill the small children in the school. So the points it is they are looking for is ethical, the dimension in issue of the international ties or at the during of war. Okay. So in that ground, these questions can be understood. The people will become so tilted. No, war should not be happen. It is so bad in sense and all that. They have not asked the question on that. They just ask the ethical issue involved in the war. Okay. So it is just the name of just one. Correct? Next question. So this I have added it. Next question was just short notes, Madhavi. First question, write short notes on constitutional morality. What do you mean by constitutional morality? This is the favorite topic always in paper 2, paper 4. The UPSC will ask this constitutional morality. Constitutional morality, people don't understand what it is. Now think about if something is happened in the society, okay, and the society is accepting this, right? And if somebody is raising the issue, for example, Sabrimala issue, society was accepting that the woman should not enter into the temple. That too, Sabrimala temple. It was accepting fact and people were following it. But somebody on the spot raised this issue that why a woman should not enter. At that time, it went to the court, and the court given the judgment on the basis of constitution, on the basis of right. So when a societal issue is going to be challenged in the court, then the court will decide whether it is according to the constitutional right or not. That is called constitutional morality. Okay. Now, if you understood means you can go with the definition. Already I said you have to remember the definition of all the term. So constitutional morality would be mean effective coordination between, see whatever I have told, conflicting interest of the different people and the administrative cooperation to resolve them without any confrontations among the various groups. So in this way, the constitutional morality should be focused on social justice also, due process of law, procedure established by law, freedom of expression through preamble, through rule of law, liberty, equality, and choice. It is in the polity law, okay, va? So choice should be there, equality should be there, liberty should be there, law should be there, process of law should be correct. So the court will see the constitutional morality and they will go. Now the question asked here about the constitutional morality. So we are giving the example also where the constitutional morality checked in the recent time. And the recent time it checked in the case of Sabrimala verdict, where the gender equality and the right of the woman protected by the court in this particular, according to the constitution of Article 14, 15, 14, 21 and 25. So you're giving the example there. Next case, if it is saying Keshwananda Bharati case, they set the structure of the constitution, so the basic structure. There also constitutional morality you have given. Now the recent example where you can say the same sex, okay, marriage is not allowed, but like relationship, it was a decriminalization process happened by this Nath Foundation case where Supreme Court decriminalized section 377 and said that if the people's having right to privacy, it should be also having in their private life also. So the same sex love affair is accepted now in the society as per the constitutional morality of the checked in the constitution. So these kind of examples you have to give where the society was wrong and the constitution is right. That is called constitutional morality. Understood? Fine. So we give this example in the Lieutenant Governor case also, when always Kejriwal plus Lieutenant Governor case. Pondicherry always Lieutenant Governor versus Chief Minister case. So where again the constitutional morality checked here, who is correct here, who has having which power, up to what power. So power there it says that since it is the government representation of the people, so the chief minister having more right according to the constitution and they pass the judgment. This is called constitutional morality. Okay. So in this way, you can address the question. The second one, it came, see, it kills your time. It makes you engage like anything. Soon you have to think and you have to write. You have to be very alert to time. I mean, like how I can say that the speed, how much you want. Okay. So second was conflict of interest. Conflict of interest can be of your own personal decision. Suppose you are an IAS officer, you have taken the decision versus these decisions, whether it is helping your family, friends, or you. This is called conflict of interest. Suppose if you take the decision and the person supposed to tender is there with you. Okay. Now you're taking the decisions on the basis of very suitable decisions. I have to give this tender to this person. Now that person is your indirectly your relative. Now people will not see that you were just. The people will say you help your relative. That is called conflict of interest. Then you will think whether I have to give the tender to that person or not, because to protect your name there. So this is what actually conflict of interest, where the conflict of interest is a major ethical concern in the bureaucracy and all other decision making. Okay, so you can understood with this because we have a little time lag. So we are going with all the answers I have. The main thing is you should understand the term there and you can write with the many examples. So here without prejudiced towards honesty and integrity, the bureaucrats keep in mind that you have to take the right decisions. Having the concept of interest is there or not, your decision should be just. Okay. So thus the best and ethical course of action should be taken. So all these notes are there where the difficulties will be there as a environment wise, political pressure will be there, senior lack supports, everything will be there. Challenges is also there, but you have to take the advice and you can take the decision. One more thing is, once you're taking the decisions in the conflict of interest, that time make sure that the person should take the advice from any other person. So that in the time of, suppose you're going for interview, the board member is your uncle. Okay, and you have performed so well, but on the boardroom, that you have performed so well. It was knowing between the six people and you topped in the exam. Then an issue arose. The media person will be there. In the board, they will find out everything. And the uncle was there sitting. That is why he got or she got the best marks in interview. Then how would you prove that I performed very good there? So there comes the board member's personal of interest. Conflict of interest will be there. So the decision making would be either you just go away from this board. I don't want to sit, or otherwise don't bother about who are telling what. You were correct. Just live with these decisions. Okay. So this is actually, you have to bring in your answer. That don't bother what you say. If you're correct, you have it ethically, proof with that, then conflict of interest should not matter, right? Next was the challenges of digitalization. Here, the challenges is you have to say with the resource and time, whether the resource is there with every vulnerable sections, whether the time is there. Resource and time is timely manner whether the resources is available or not. Suppose skills and know-how. The people who are using this program of digital and they having this knowledge or not, or they are having the digital divide. Budget and funding properly, it is there or not, or sections and implementation is there or not. So challenges of digitization is these 5, where sometimes the culture also protecting some section of people to become a more digital form of person. Okay, so these are the angles where it is called of digitalization. Next question is whistleblower. Who is the whistleblower? Who is blowing the whistle? That is called whistleblower. Then who is the whistleblower? The first question is whistleblower who reports corruption. Whistleblower is any people who are not involved in this particular case, but they will raise this issue that this was not correct. For example, road construction was, this tender was not correct. The contract was given to the wrong person. So anybody who raised this issue, that was the person known it as a whistleblower. Now the question says here, it is corruption and illegal activity. In that situation, how the whistleblower rights can be protected? Suppose you are not involved in something. Someday you are going in a bike or you are going in scooty. Sometimes what happened, like you fell down and you met with an accident. The day movement you got, like this road was very new. Now how this kind of material they are using in the one rain itself it is going, right? So all the reality of smart city will come out when one rain will come. And we no need to go with the swimming pool. All the swimming pool will be there on road, right? So this reality, suppose you are taking care and one day you are going in the media and talking about, the political thread will be there over you. People will come and ask you, what is the problem? Where a scooty veduma? Where a bike veduma? I'll buy and give you. But just to shut your mouth. At that time, you're taking the step to go against them. At that time, the question here is, what is the protection and rights for the whistleblower in your country? This is the actually crux of the question. So the first thing is that the definition you have to give it here. Whistleblowing means blowing a whistle or revealing some information in front of the public. Okay, and in that we have to bring this answer that what is the protection framework in India? It is available. So all this data is there. In 2004, government already made this Public Interest Disclosure Protection Informer Act. There is a Central Vigilance Commission who will talk about the corruption and who will find about the corrupted people. Okay. So if these people will be involved, at least the right of the whistleblower will be protected. And also, India become the signatory to the UN conventions against the corruption. That is why who is corrupted, they will be going to get the punishment like anything. So when the corrupted peoples will get punishment, whistleblower rights will be protected. Also, the safety and measures kaga kuda, the government has given this kind of thing. And now it is on the administration side. I said this example. What about if somebody is doing corruption through, like selling of securities and debenture? That time, who is protecting? SEBI is there. Okay, and even this act passed in 2014, in which even the complaint peoples will get the protection of the public, protection from the police department or any other things, and their name will not be disclosed. Name சொல்ல மாட்டாங்க யார் வந்து இதுக்கு கம்ப்ளைண்ட் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. So like that kind of protection has been given in this, which is giving a strength to the whistleblower. Understanding? It's easy, right? So these are the many rights and things are there. Even those who are getting even the death threat also and their family, the protections will be there. Now, some example, it is very important to give here. So what happened was Satendra Dubey, famous case. He was an Indian engineering service officer. Okay, so he was taking this initiative in corruption. What to say, in the road contract level, people were giving lot of money to give the tender. Then he took these particular steps. And at that time, anyhow, in the road accident, somebody has killed this person. So these kind of examples you can say. Even Bangalore, one journalist 2 years back, she was murdered because she was taking the name of the politicians out, right? And these were some examples are there, which you can say that this incident happened in India also. Okay, very important is in every topic of ethics, you have to give the example. Example, the evlo version you படிச்சிருக்கீங்க இல்லையா 1 year newspaper, that examples all you have to bring in your ethics paper. Okay, next question. In the contemporary world, the corporate sector contribution in generating wealth and employment is increasing. Now, the thing is, the crux of the question is, corporate social responsibility is there. That is called, any corporate sector has to give 2% of their interest is spending for the society. Appo society if they spend panna mudiyum na education, health, whatever. I mean, for the welfare of the society kaga avanga vandu adha spend panum. Now, what is the question is, since they are giving every year, but do you think that it is ethically they are doing the work? It means that if they are protecting the society, then why in their corporate companies they are polluting the environment? They are not thinking about the society. For example, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, cool drinks. Okay, the actor and actress, they are bringing and they are promoting. Now, other part it is we are also drinking, but at the same time we know that they are very sugar conscious people. They will not eat the sugar. Or the program la kooptu chumma sweet kudukumbodhu I will not take the sweet apdi solluvaanga. But same people are promoting the like all these sugar items and all that, very much, and people will become unhealthy. Now, this is correct. Idam questions kekra. Now, the question how to address it, first you have to write is corporate social responsibility definition. Right? So self-regulating business model is there, which is taking care by not only for them, but also socially accountable. Profit generate panikonga. And society kaga kuda you can spend something to that. So how you can address this question is, it is something which not only taking care social responsibility, and whenever they are promoting something, the banner will be there. So it is not social responsibility they are doing, they are also encouraging their brand also, promoting their brand also. So it is ethically is there when they're giving the money, the government also should use it in the effective manner. So this type of this answer you have to address in the question. If they're going with the corporate social responsibility, but also government should also take care that they should not harm the environment. So it is just giving the money and making everything right, it should not happen. So it is fault from the government side also. So this kind of example you can give. Okay, let's go with the case study. 3 case studies there. Slowly we will solve. Okay, so that questions part and all, that was the governance part. See, already 2 o'clock, last exam, tired up. Okay, evlo glucose varum theriyala adukapra. Okay va, and lastly when the 6 questions will be there in this much. So let's start. The crux of, I'll tell, the question is, you are an MBA student, sorry, you are an MBA from the reputed institution, okay? You work for the company where you have a family, and the crux of this is this one. I have got it. Crux of the case study is trying to sell the rejected export product in the local market. If your story is this is the crux that the person who is an MBA, who are recently married, who have a family, he has to sign in the agreement, or he has to sign in the paper that the rejected product has to sell in the local market because it has been rejected for the export. Okay, and so what? So now, how I have done, you have to understand like that. So you have to understand the whole story in a very small line, that what actually the story says here. Now the ethical things involved. Now read it, because the story is so long. You will also be tired. So it is however, lot of persuasion series competition test is there. Now this has been rejected. Now your boss and your industry and your company is saying that, without knowing, you just go and sign in this paper so that this product should go out and should be sold in the market. So the question here asked is, again 4 to 5 questions included in this case study. That is, under the giving condition, which are the option available to you? First, you have to say what are the option available. What are the option available? You will say that I will follow the instruction. Then you have go with the advantage and disadvantage. If you follow this particular instruction, what will be the advantage? You will be getting a higher perks. You will be promoted. But even disadvantage will be, it is not ethical for the consumer, right? Second option is, you should decline the instruction, but make sure that you are recently married. What happens if you go home? Who told you to do that, Abhina? That is why they given in the case study like this. Now the ethical issue involved here, personal interest also. Now if you decline the instruction, you will be terminated from the job. But if you decline the instruction, then ethically it will be good, because you are not selling this. Third option will be, you will go to the boss and communicate with the top management, and you will explain to the people that why you are not able to obeying their instruction. Because if they obey, now this you have to elaborately, you can write. You may, because I am not, see, these are the questions people can take this as a decision, because who are you? So it will be like, follow the instruction. Yes, sir, everything you will follow. Otherwise, I will not follow, now face the consequences then. So then you will say that third option is, you will communicate this to the main boss. But the thing is, how you will communicate. Suppose you communication again terminate. Okay, so the communication, your main answer is there, that what you are going to communicate. Now, while the communicating, more you has to present that it is bad for the company if you are going to sell this product in the market. For me, I can sign it. But if you sell this product, what about the reputation you will be going to get? Now, the company has told to sell this product in the market just to save their loss. Now, loss can be protected, okay, by through some other means also, by insurance or something. But once the name of the company will be disturbed, then again the name, they cannot bring it back. So you will explain to the management there that if I am not obeying this order, this is not for me. I will get any job. But it is for sake of the company I am not obeying this. And for this is my duty that, I have to tell that this is not correct if you sell the product in the market. So where you will convince the management that why you are not obeying it. And otherwise, they will say, otherwise I'll leak this information in the media. Media will come and then, but this option is there. It shows that how good you can think, but don't take this. This should be there as a last resort. So you may take it. Either if suppose the management will say, I don't want your suggestion. You have done MBA from whichever is institute, but I am the boss of this company now. Then you can say leaking the media, because this product will reach the market, means many people will be going to affected. It is unethical. That is why utilitarian principle maximum happiness I have to give, and I'm ready to sacrifice my job. I will leave this job. I'll resign it. I will make sure understand my family, and I'll wait to join the other work. Since I am an MBA student, I will be having the hope on my caliber, on my studies, and on my education that this kind of many jobs I can get outside if I'm leaving this job. This should be your last answer, and you will finish that. And you learn that climax coded, you can end up. See that I was right. I wanted to communicate here, but what will do? I'll leave the job. But at the same time, also I will disclose all your bad things also to the media. Go to hell, like that. Okay. So I will also out. You will also out from the market. So this kind of things is something, like tit for tat, like this attitude will be there. So okay, fine. So the question was this. Answer of crux of the question was this. Now how you have to solve it? Like you have to go with the stakeholder. So stakeholder, you have to address in the question who are the people involved, what are the ethical dilemma, difficult economic situation, true for the duty, voice of the conscience, like shall I listen here or shall I listen to my wife at home? Because like they don't know what is the situation is happening, right? Or ethical business management, even the society and the environment. So you can go with this, and option is available here. This option you have to expand and write every other possible way. Okay. Next question, again, like a Mount Everest, right? You know why they are giving like this? They want that you should be tired. And secondly, you should forget all the statement, and then, like your marks, they can cut. So these kind of things. Again, I have got the crux of the story. Okay, don't worry. This is the crux of the states. The case said that, now, this case was actually, speedily when I will say, Rakesh was working as a joint commissioner in transport department. Some accident happened, okay? And the accident happened because of the negligence by the driver, okay? And in that, driver died, right? A driver died means driver family is asking for compensation. Their demand is give the one person job in your company or give us the compensation. Now, when the company is not listening, they went for the strike. Now, in this situation, since a joint commissioner, how would you tackle this situation? Is there a case study? Is there? Now, the crux of the case study is that bus driver get a compensation for that. What you have to do? Now, the stakeholders involved is transport department, bus drivers and their family, union, even the rules and regulation of the government, and the car driver and his family. Now, the thing is, ethical dilemma here is whose mistake was there and how you will take the decision. If you take the option available here is, first, what is the demand of the family? You will agree to all the demand and resolve the situation. Very, very easiest way. You agree, yeah, I'll give the job. I will arrange the job. Government will accept that, yeah, we will give the job, and we will be see with their family also. So it will be easy, strike will go off and people will be happy. Now the ethical issue involved here is whether it is a right with every bus driver or who's, previously also this kind of cases would have been happened, but they were accepted that there was a fault from their side. So they not demanded any compensation. They not demanded any agitation. So then ethically, then this decision is right. So second option is ensuring job to the one family member, second option. But you have to tell here that this option, if I choose, these options I will not choose as a policy of the company. Policy of the company is like whose fault is this is? The driver's fault. So he died. Now they are asking the one member job. We are not giving the one member job since they are demanding. But the empathical way we are giving the job. It is not, because after seeing the situation that there's nobody available, that is why we consider that may give this family member the job, but not on the ground of that is why their agitation, that is why we are giving the job. Third is hold the negotiation with the family member, call the family member, ask for the compensations, try to ethically way, ask other employee to collect the money and give some compensation to the family. And if we knows that, nobody is there and the old parents are there, there is no income available, then the management can help and I can also help. So like that, you have to take the decision. But as such theoretical ways, always you have to go with, if you're giving this work here, others workers they will also come demand in future. So that part also you have to take care that your duty is not to make understanding this family. Also, it should become as an example that you done this work because of the empathy in nature, not on the pressure from their family. Otherwise, every day they will come and they will ask the compensation. Okay. So these kind of questions you can ask with that. So choice between empathy, sympathy, and empathy. Challenges of behaving is there, and challenges of behaving that emotionally intelligent you have to be there, or you have to be intelligent manner you have to think. Or rule of law is what, and union strike, public is also affected. That also you have to keep in mind that this as soon as possible the strike has to end. So the strike has to be end means what is the possible solution you are giving here. Okay. Next question. Go on. Now this question is, you are appointed, last one, okay? You are appointed as an office heading the section in the environment pollution. Now crux of this story is, you are the head in the environmental pollution control. Now imagine you are first posting in Delhi, like kind of things where pollution is too much. And you are just seeing that, what happened, why this pollution problem is there, like that the story given. And you will notice that many industries are there nearby and that industry is causing more pollution. In that industry, but more of the laborer and migrant peoples are getting the job, right? So now you came across with this, that whatever the clearance certificate they got from the particular department, that was actually not up to the mark. It means corruption happened. Indirectly, the question is saying, okay? Now you are freshly issues the notice to such companies and industries to again take the, this notice or this certificate, pollution certificate and compliance certificate from the company or from the government officer. And in that time, when they get this notice, many threatens, you got it. The local peoples are also affected because of this industry. And you find out that this industry's peoples come up and, like they are just threatening you. Labor strike, they are giving that, labor side level, that threat is coming. And corruption is also happening, in this case, what is the available option is there. Now, the first available options, you can say, what is option? First option is, you will close the industry. Because you know that it is going to be affect the health of the people around that, and they have manipulated and corrupted the officials in the office, and they got the certificate. Second option is, but advantage and disadvantage involved in this is, lot of people will become unemployed there, right? But you feel that very ethical. You feel that I'm a very great officer. I have closed it, but ethically, way the people's life is going to be affected here. Second option is, you will be continue with what is going on. Here, ethical dilemma is, the people's health issue is coming. In future also, it is going to be worst, right? Then if you will not take the decision, then you are an unethical man. Second option. Third one, you can call up industry peoples, right? NGO peoples, labor, everybody, discuss with them and say, I'll give the notice according to the level of pollution. And this is the proof that your industry is getting this kind of pollution. So mostly the highest level of polluted industry go first to notice kudanga. So that, when they will accept, see, this is the pollution level of my industry, they will take a step. Why? Because the big industry who is polluting more, maybe capital wise, they little more good. So maybe they can, ask, and they will change the technology, they'll change the machine so that, this will be easy for you to, end the pollution level of the particular places. Secondly, other industry will take the news that, okay, that industry has developed, that industry has made it as a sustainable type of things they are doing. So now we can also do it. So this kind of conversation and discussions will be there. All the peoples will be slowly, they will listen and they will come to the point, yes, this is our fault. What is we can do it? It is the responsibility of yours, is social responsibility is also there. So maybe this is, like if you take the step, means this can be a good step from them. Okay, so this kind of third option you can give. Fourth one, don't forget that your department itself is corrupted. Even you are going to take the step for the people who have passed the previous papers and who have created this kind of situation. Because you are at the boss level, you are a joint secretary there or joint commissioner. So it means you have a power to take the decisions and to even to give a notice in their offices that in future this kind of things is happening, then it will not be easy for them to work here. So every part has to take care in this question, and you can have this advantage and disadvantage in every option, then you can attempt the question. Okay, so it's only just like which type of answers options you are choosing. It makes you in that particular time in tension. It will tell you that what type of officer you will become. So you will not know that what you have written in your paper. The examiner will know what you have written. Okay, so these are the things, 3 case study. I hope like case study is too long, right? So 3 case study and these were the question. Fine. Okay then. Any doubt? Any other option you people have for bus driver, for MBA student, and for this environmental pollution? Ma'am, many ideas will come when I reach home. Okay. Okay then. Thank you.